What's going on? Good morning, Black Cat family. My Black Cat army. What's going on? To the masses. What's going on? Y'all come on in here, man. You already know what time it is. We got one for you. I announced it to you. What we getting ready to do, man. This is another episode of your boy, Goat Talk, featuring the one, the only Panther Theory. You guys know him as Elaine, but he runs a wonderful channel, like I told y'all. Panther Theory, nothing but analytics, digital, futuristic. Just when the young man comes on here, he will give it to you like it ti is. So y'all know I have dedicated my life to um getting the Carolina Panther quarterback out of here to have excellent quarterback play in the Carolinas. So once again, I have somebody, a guest today that will give it to you with beyond a shadow of a doubt of how the fan base is getting shafted, shorted, bamboozled, ran amok, if you will. Um, so without further ado, we're gonna get into it like we do. So um, let's get the party started, y'all. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Mr. Jackson. What's up? This is Thomas Davis, man, and you are watching the Black Cat Panther podcast. Make sure y'all tune in all season long.
Yeah, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking them all? Ay, ay, walking the door, you know what happened, we step on the floor. Ay, ay, coming for more, you don't want partners, you already know it. Ay, ay, come on my to it, you already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm locked in, and I feel like Mark 10. Ay, walking to a room, chest up with my chin. Ay, already finished for this joint, even begin. Ay, when is what I am, I cannot ever pretend. Ay, yeah, never pretend. Ay, back in the lab again. Ay, you were not touching the friends, ayy. You were not touching the kin, ayy. Putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is, ayy. Switching the moves, no number two, I came in the win. Said I'm tapped in with the action, either got the master on the master. I can never move passive, I'm active, I can make them go ghost on this cast. But wanna know who running it, just ask us. On the track, I'm gunning it, I'm blasting this, that gas, that diesel, Shack and dog.
You know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat, ayy, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast, my whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat, ayy, you know I'm a beast.
Hold up. Pay attention, this is beast mode. Got an edge on the game like a cheat code. Had to tighten up my focus like a peephole. I want the rings and the change like I'm Depot. Big dog, walking, check my status. We established when it's show. Time to squat, making plays. Ooh, it's magic like some. We want the smoke. Y'all ain't really about that action. We got perfect off the practice. They ain't working, so they lack it. I've been hungry all my life. I ain't passing up a plate. I can't quit until I win. I ain't having no debates. This is sacrifice and heart. That's exactly what.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hey man, like I said, man, this guy I'm bringing to your stage, man, is Panther Theory. He's gonna give you some analytical takes about the quarterback position and how we do it. Yeah, and I like to see all y'all people keep coming on in, man. Neo Shadow up, I see you. Talks with Omar James. What's up? Patrick, Carolina Blue. Yeah, hey, official. Yeah, Haynes King. Yeah, let's get it, man. Haynes King. That's what's up, bruh. And with no further ado, I'm bringing it to you. Here's my man, Elaine, Panther Theory. What's going on, my guy?
Dope, man. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you having me, man.
Nay, no doubt, man. Hey, for the people who might not know you, man, that's in our audience, man, tell them who you are, man, and what you do.
Yeah, man. You guys, some people call me Elaine for some reason. That's a name that I got called on. But man, you guys can find me at Panther Theory on YouTube. Really, man, GOAT, man. I was inspired. I haven't been doing this longer than you guys, as long as you guys, but I was inspired back in 2023 when we got Bryce. I was a CJ Stroud guy. We got Bryce, and he started playing maybe preseason, maybe the first couple of preseason games. I was like, yo, this dude is. I don't think he's it, man. I got inspired to start a YouTube channel and really just start telling the other story, other side of the stories, right? No hype. Even though we're fans, I'm not a cheerleader. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see I want to see the Panthers win. I'm not gonna lie to you about it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to really, I felt like nobody was really telling that perspective. Everybody had their pom poms on, and there was a lot of concerning things that I was seeing, man. I was pointing out, man, this gentleman's having problems pushing the ball. This is like the first preseason game, and turns out he had the lowest yards per reception. You know what I'm saying? So, I was just inspired to really just put down the channel, and so that was about 3 years ago. After year two, I kind of fell off, got a little busy with work and stuff like that, man, and growing businesses. But I'm back at it, man. So you guys can find me at Panther Theory on YouTube.
Yeah, man. I knew you through some various other channels, and like I said, man, when I had tuned into you a couple years back, and I was like, whoa, man. It was like
Mhm,
I know I watched this kid, um, at Alabama,
mhm,
and it's another guy by the name of Jesse. He's a San Francisco 49er content creator. And
mhm,
Jesse, he put us on a while back. And we got people like Panama Queen and people like that's in our chat. That's big 49ers fans that's been following us ever since he came on. And we came on, did his show and everything like that. And he said, man, if y'all get Bryce, he said, look at, I said, man, I don't like him, this and that. You know what I'm saying? We having a conversation, boom,
mhm,
boom, boom. He said, "Yep, you're exactly right." He said, "But you know what I look at?" He said, "I look at him in the red zone, where he
mhm,
shrinks in the red zone because of his size." So I went
mhm.
back and looked at that again, you know what I'm saying, and took a
Yeah,
deeper dive. And that's what a lot of people don't seem to look, you know what I'm saying? They don't go
yeah,
back and actually look at what people say, you know what I'm saying, to
yeah.
see if
That's
it's
right,
true or not, or if you just, just talking, basically bullshit. And I looked
man.
at it, and damn if the guy wasn't telling the truth or talking sense. And I was like,
Yeah,
this dude is just missing people, can't see. You know what I'm saying? Let's
hmm,
let's it let's the hole just opens up like the Red Sea or something like that. The red
yeah,
and then the number spoke for themselves. And when
yeah.
you came with the numbers and charts and this and that, like how can I dispute that? You know what I'm saying? Straight fact.
Right, right.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I I
Numbers
I,
don't
I
lie.
love that saying. I love that
Yes,
saying.
sir.
And so, like I say, and I've been a fan ever since. So,
Hmm.
I'm gonna basically let you do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna just sit back in awe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, give the people what they need, not
Yes,
what
sir.
they want. Cause some of them
Yes,
don't
sir.
want it. Some of them ain't gonna take it. But
Yes,
give
sir.
them what they need.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I want to say a couple things before we get started. Go, you know, you were just talking about how people will cheer people on, cheer players on, and not really tell the other side of the story. I take a lot of pride in the fact that a lot of times when I say something, go, when you watch football on Sunday, you see what I was talking about. You get what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
that was from the beginning, right? I couldn't look at myself if I told you he's going to throw 40 touchdowns. And I've heard people say that. I was hearing people say 35 touchdowns rookie year, stuff like that. And he doesn't do it. And I gotta be, you gotta, you come look at me, I'm gonna have to have some accountability, right? I can't be like, well, next week's gonna be 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna always get the real from me, right? And that's sort of given me the title as a one of Bryce Young's biggest hater. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. You're hating. You're hating. You're hating.
you're
Yeah.
hating. Yeah, yeah. And you know, my thing is this, man. Um, Hating is about, well, first of all, you got to hate on something that's successful, right? You know, you
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
up, you don't hate down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the reality is there are 90 players that are currently on the Panthers roster. Go, you know what I mean? Roughly half of them will not be here in about 4 weeks, right? And you know, for the fan base that are all supporting Bryce Young, that'll call you a hater. They will turn around and say Xavier Legette is trash. He needs to go. So, you know, you're capable of objectively evaluating a quarterback when your emotions aren't in it, right? And that's all I'm asking today. You guys are going to hear me talk about specific players, make comparisons. You're going to hear me say the raw facts and raw numbers, right? But we're just going to have to be adults here, put our feelings out of it, and just kind of just look at things for what they are. I'm going to bring fair context to everything, right? And so, you know, we're gonna go ahead and go on this journey, and yeah, leave the hearts and feelings around. Your heart is an organ you do not need today. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Go. Um,
No
I wanna
no doubt.
Yes, sir. I want to start because I want to just really tell the story that I don't really hear a lot of people telling as far as narratives and as Bryce Young has progressed. And then I'm going to sort of get into this year, the games, and you know what I where I see him long term. Right? We drafted him going into the first year when we drafted him. We all know it was a rough start from the very beginning. Right? Some of the worst games, historically bad games in NFL history from Bryce Young. Um, I think at one point in week four, past 15 yards, Bryce Young had the worst completion percentage past 15 yards in NFL history to that point. And so, to be fair, uh, week one and week four of that early Carolina Panthers season, uh, Bryce Young has some of the least amount of time in the pocket of any quarterback in the NFL. We're going to keep it all the way fair and exact, right? Now,
Okay.
people were screaming, no weapons, offensive line help, all that stuff like that. It was actually up until week three. I apologize. After week three and moving on to week 17,
Now
as
this is rookie season. This is rookie season,
rookie
right?
season. Yes, sir, rookie
Okay,
season.
okay, 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 okay.
After week three up until week 17, if you guys don't have Pro Football Focus, that's fine. ESPN wrote an article on it. Just go read it. His rookie season. It was like week 15, 16, or something like that. They wrote an article. Bryce Young has some of the most time in the pocket in the league. What ended up happening is if you did not look just at the first three games and played it on a loop, go, the offensive line solidified around Bryce. And down the stretch, he ended up having the seventh most time in the pocket in the league his rookie season. Right
So
now,
you're telling
um,
me
mhm,
at the beginning of the year there was
mhm,
a problem, and as the
yes,
year progressed, they got better.
yes, they actually
So
they actually
so
overcorrected.
that's usually what happens, right? So that's
Yes,
usually
sir.
what happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. That's it.
Yep,
That's all I'm saying.
you
I'm just
right
saying
on.
to
You
cut you.
right
Okay,
on.
okay,
You
okay,
right on.
okay.
Now, uh, so people are screaming offensive line, no weapons, no weapons. Who would succeed in a situation like this, right? And what ends up happening and what people tried to have you got to have to keep explaining over and over again is and let me before I say this, let me preface, guys, because Andy Dalton has been the backup quarterback for the duration of the time that Bryce has been here, and not this year. I'm going to draw a lot of parallels, right? The first thing you're going to want to do is say, well, Andy Dalton sucks. Well, exactly. Right? I would agree with you. So keep that in mind as I'm drawing these comparisons, right? So what ends up happening, Goat, is that if you recall, we end up playing Seattle, and Bryce Young has like the ankle tweak or something like that the week before. People are saying it was a fake injury, yada yada yada. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. Nonetheless, he did not play against Seattle. What we end up having is an amazing performance from Andy Dalton in a loss.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
He
did.
was finding receivers that people said we did not have, and he was getting pressured, rolling out of the pocket, rather slow, right? But he was rolling out of pocket, finding Adam Thielen. He was finding DJ Chark, right? DJ Chark had 100 yards in that game as well,
Hmm.
and he ended up having 376 yards, which is the most yards of a Carolina
Hmm.
Panther quarterback that season. Following
Hmm.
the veteran quarterback out of 16, 17 cracks that Bryce had. 16, actually, he missed the game, right? That my math is off. He missed the game, so there's 17, 16. Yeah, 16, my bad. Out of the 16 cracks he had, Bryce Young never eclipsed what Andy Dalton did, right? Now,
Yep.
some will say, well, Andy Dalton threw 58 times, so of course he would have more yards, right? But we have to look at this, we have to look at it thoroughly, right? During that time, Bryce Young was averaging about 4 yards an attempt, right? He was averaging about 4 yards attempt, league low, historical low yards per attempt, right? Andy Dalton had like 7 yards per attempt in that game. If you would have given Bryce Young 58 throws that game or at any point of his career, he would not eclipse what Andy Dalton did that day. You
And
follow me
nobody,
though?
yeah, nobody throws that many times a game. The best of the best,
Correct.
Josh Allen.
Correct.
Nobody throws
Correct.
that many times.
Correct. Correct. And so there we go. The most yards of the rookie season ended with a quarter was by a quarterback who was the backup, and then we all know Bryce Young didn't eclipse 300 yards until the Green Bay game. Green Bay had like the second to lowest pass defense in the league that year, and then as well as they were fresh off the game before Green Bay paid us. They end up having the worst PFF grade in pass defense in NFL history, right?
Young secondary. The secondary was babies and trash. If they
Correct.
wasn't a rookie or a baby, they were trash. The
Correct.
Green Bay secondary was terrible.
And specifically, they were having trouble covering the intermediate part of the field, the part where Bryce actually is somewhat can be successful throwing the ball. Go, you know what I mean? Because all that year, and the deep ball is going to come up again because there's a stat that people like to throw out, but he finished bottom three in completion percentage and on deep balls. He was like bottom 10 in deep ball attempts too. Uh, you know, uh, Middle of the field was horrific. I mean, middle of the field, he was like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He just couldn't push the ball. Now, some will say that, okay, he didn't have weapons. He didn't have weapons, but you would have to explain the Andy Dalton game. But we're going to move forward and we're going to talk about as the Panthers continue to build around him, what kind of return did we get on our investment from there, right? So that's year one. I think all Panther fans can agree that it was not a good year. Some may have a certain excuse for it. Some people whatever. It wasn't a good year. I don't think anybody looked at that and said, "This is great," right? You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
as we rolled into year two of Bryce Young's career, and we're looking at, and that year he had what 28, 77 passing yards, something like that. As we roll into year two of the career, they went and upgraded. I felt like they upgraded dang near everywhere, right? I felt like, and honestly, the year we got Bryce Young, I felt like we pretty much upgraded everywhere too, right? This is a team that was one game away from the playoffs before we drafted him. Yeah, we lost DJ Moore, but you replaced him with what's his name? Adam Thielen, right? Adam Thielen doesn't have the ability to get deep like DJ Moore did, but he was a master route runner. He could work the short and intermediate, and that's the kind of receiver that's
Exactly.
good from Bryce. And we'll talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that. And if they wanted to get into the deep ball or whatever like that, you had DJ Chark, and then the one that people really get me on, right? And because a lot of people go when you bring up a point to people, they're really unable to basically. Um, uh, I don't know. Everything's an end all be all. Good receiver, bad receiver, right? And there are certain receivers that exist to play a very specific role. You get what I'm saying? And DJ Chark and TMJ were those receivers, right? TMJ, DJ Chark are supposed to be the guys that, especially when it came to TMJ, he's supposed to get about 30 catches a season, and he's gonna get one or two deep shots every other game, right? He's supposed to keep the defense honest, right? So
Yeah.
the years
Now, let me
prior,
tell you about him. Man,
yeah,
I was so anybody will tell you over here. I
hmm
was so high. I still am.
hmm
LSU receivers in that area in that era. I'm
hmm
so the Malik uh the Malik neighbors, the Brian Thomas Juniors, like I said, the TMJ, man, I was so high on them guys. Then the years before that, they had the cornerbacks. I was so high on those LSU cornerbacks. But
hmm
those receivers right there, I was so high on. I still say Malik
hmm
is better than Marvin. I have that argument
hmm
with everybody around here. I just look at the way those boys put their foot in the ground and cut and just different, just
yeah,
far and away better. But the injuries, I was so high on TMJ, it didn't make the
yeah,
injuries just
yeah,
stopped the kid. So
yeah.
I'm
You
not trying
know,
to make an excuse for him or whatever, but the best ability
right?
is availability and so on and so
It
forth.
is.
So,
It is.
you know,
What the only point I was making about him is that his ability to stretch the field was there. So when people were screaming, "We don't have people to stretch the field," you had DJ Chark who made a career out of it, and then you had TMJ who literally led the league in yards per reception after week 5 because Matt Rule got fired and TMJ ended up taking over as a starting receiver after they traded Chosen, all right? Chosen Anderson, whatever he's calling himself, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
think about that. This guy, and by no means, I know people sometimes they just can't. They think good, bad, good, bad. He's a bad receiver. He had a role. He had a very specific role on the team, right? If it was one catch a game, it was a role that kept the defense honest, and he was pretty
Mm-hmm.
dang good at it. He led the
Uh,
league, not the team, the league in
mhm,
yards
mhm.
per reception after week 5 that
There's
year.
what you just said.
Yeah,
There's a guy by the name of Randy Moss. Have you ever heard of him?
yes, sir. One of the greatest.
Um, he said that same thing what you just said. Receiver
He
have
said
a
that about
role,
you.
and he
Yes,
was
yes,
talking about his role on the Patriots. He said his
yes,
role was to keep the defense honest, back the defense up, this and that.
yeah,
Mean he gets over the top. That's
correct.
why he means everybody, because this is a learning channel as well, Elaine. That's one of the
Yes.
reasons why you're on here. This is a learning
Mhm.
channel.
Yeah,
Randy Moss, gold jacket wearing Randy Moss says the same thing. Receivers have
correct.
a role. Have a slot receiver. You have a guy
Mhm.
that can get past the third level. You have a guy that can run damn near every route. You have different types of receivers.
Yes,
That's what he's saying, y'all. And
yes.
well, I thank Jermaine JP Shepard for the $2 super chat. He says shout out to Elaine. Facts,
Appreciate you,
Philly.
brother. So, and I'm going to stay in year one a little bit longer here because everyone has a role. And if the receiving core is trash, like they say, at the very least, if my quarterback is the answer and the truth, then everybody on the team should at least maintain their same production. If you are starting receiver that gets 20 catches a game, well, when the number one overall pick comes in, he should at least still be getting 20 catches a game. You following me, Goat?
I
Your
got you.
production,
I'm digging what you're putting down.
conventional wisdom says when you get this guy you draft overall, he should be elevating guys. But I say, okay, whatever. At the very least, he should be elevating guys. And what we end up finding is that every receiver except DJ Chark, who, if you count the Green Bay game, he barely made it, had their lowest yards per reception of their career with Bryce Young, right? Now, some people just don't have brains, and they'll bring up a crazy point as if like, well, Jonathan Mingo was a rookie. Of course, you don't count him because you don't have anything to to measure against, right? And I'm just saying this because too many people have said this to me, right? You know what I mean? So we have to sort of think here, right? The receivers that actually have a history when they played with Bryce, they have their lowest yards per reception. And I went back to his college career, and I actually found the same thing. I found the same thing, right? And it was that deep ball and ability to push the ball had always been a problem, even dating back to college, in which past 20 yards, Bryce Young was completing 30% of his passes, but Matt Jones on the same team was completing 50% of his passes past 20 yards, which is a 20%, 20-point differential in percentage, right? So it had been a problem in college. There was other abilities he had that translated more in college space that negated that. He gave defenses other things to worry about. That was one of the things that I worried about when it came to the NFL. Would that athleticism translate to the NFL? And if it doesn't translate, what are you left with? Average to below average arm, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And people say intelligence or whatever like that. And I'm not trying to insult the young man, but I'm not really seeing Peyton Manning out there. You know what I'm saying? He's not dissecting defenses or anything like that. So that was year one go in which year one 40. I did a complete breakdown of all the stats and everything like that. Year one, 40% of all yards came in the fourth quarter. 40%
Mm.
of all his yards came in the fourth quarter. All right. I don't think I have to spell out what's going on there and what's happening there. You get what I'm saying? There was just
That usually in a prevent, usually in quarters
mhm.
defense, or
Yeah,
something like that. We're
correct,
trailing. Oh my
correct,
God.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, go. And I meant to say this in the beginning there because when you start hitting people with these objective facts, what ends up happening is they accuse you of not watching film, right? And they'll say, well, he doesn't have time and you just talk numbers and you don't watch film, right? Well,
Hmm.
not only do I watch every game, right? So I got eyes too, right? But when you make a claim and you say he doesn't have enough time, right? Or something like that. Let's take that. Well, of course he's not good. He doesn't have time in the pocket, right? Well,
Hmm.
and when you ask me what I do, I forgot to mention. I have a career. I'm a software engineer, right? I've been an engineer for 7, 8 years. Now I'm an AI and automation consultant, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
engineering, understanding how things are connected, how one piece affects another piece, and we call them edge
God
cases in
Almighty.
engineering.
Tell him, boy.
Yeah,
Tell him. Preach.
yeah, we
Preach.
we we call these edge cases in engineering. What are the
Hmm.
outlier situations and things that could be affecting this that everyone's not looking at, right?
Mm.
So
Wait,
when
Eli, let me stop you. Let me stop you.
go ahead, sir.
God, you got you just got me. I'm just tingling. You said one piece affects another piece.
100%.
Oh my. So what's the most valuable piece on the offensive unit?
Well, I mean the quarterback and offensive line, of course.
Oh my God. The
You
quarterback.
know,
So
and
if that one piece
yeah.
affects a piece, if
Mhm.
one piece affects a piece, and the most valuable piece is the quarterback.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done because
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
and
I'm
go and we're really taking our time in year one because I know a lot of people out there screaming he improved. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about all the years, right? Um, One of the things I do want to mention is that you remember that first year with Bryce, the run game kind of struggled too, right? But this was a top running attack the year prior, right? This was an offensive line that
I
produced
think
a
we
top
put up
running
like
attack.
300 on the Lions
Yep, yep,
with
yep,
that offensive. Yeah, yeah, just on the ground. Yeah,
yep.
I think we did that.
I
Yeah, yeah,
believe, and I believe four of the five offensive linemen returned. It was the same offensive line, fairly intact the next year, but we struggled
yeah,
to run the ball the second year. That's because the
yeah.
coverages changed. It was understood quite quickly that Bryce Young struggled to throw the ball deeper down the field. They started stacking the box and making it harder to run.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, Bryce Young he could not play under center. He took 5 snaps under center his rookie season, right? That
My
is an
God, cause
improvement that they
one
can
piece
actually work with.
affects another piece. Cause
It
one
does, right?
piece affects another piece. My
Right.
God.
If you can't play under center, if you're running from shotgun, right, the defense kind of gets a better look at you, right?
One
It's
dimensional.
it's one
One
dimensional, and
dimensional.
then running out of shotgun without an effective passing game is just a nightmare. And because when Bryce Young's under center, when he drops back, he struggles. He threw from under center 5 times that rookie season. 4 of them was a complete disaster, right?
And when you don't, and then when you don't use the tight ends, guess what the linebackers doing? Just
Moving
attacking
up.
that A B gap, that A and B
Yeah,
gap. Just
they're
attack
moving
first,
up.
first two
That's right.
steps instead of the first step is forward. First 2 to 3 steps is forward. Just
That's right.
attack. So guess what? No run game.
That's right.
No
That's
run
right.
game, y'all.
So
Learn it. This is a learning channel. This is a learning
right.
channel, y'all. Please take it
And
in.
so
So good.
so then what ended up happening is that when Bryce Young was under center, You and I would you guys go back and watch. I used to this is when I used to do game watches, but it became unbearable, right? So I did the whole first year. I would literally call out the plays. Bryce Young is under center. This is either going to be a run up the middle or Bryce Young is going to bootleg. And I was right 100% of the time, go. I am
Liability.
no, I
Liability.
am no, yeah, and I'm no film expert. I'm no film expert. I don't, I can't break down plays and say this is a 9 route, this is a yard, this is a split. I can't do it. That's not my strength, right? And so if I'm calling out the plays, right, then the opposing defense, the guys that get paid millions of dollars to stop them, definitely
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah,
You
he's called a
get what I'm
defensive
saying?
coordinator. He's called a
Right,
defensive coordinator. He watches
right,
film all day, 7 days a week. Yeah, 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 yeah,
correct.
yeah.
We come up out of year one, and um, the team um, did everything they could to really improve things around Bryce Young, right? And generally, whenever you invest in a quarterback, this is how you know your quarterback is good, right? Is when you invest in him, you see a noticeable difference or improvement from those assets you put around him, right? We went and got the highest paying offensive line. Put the highest paid offensive line in the league. Not just scrubs; these were qualified guys that we got, right? We fully
Yeah, not
upgraded
scrubs.
the offensive line.
You damn sure didn't pay him like they were scrubs.
Exactly. And then they went and got Deontay Johnson. I love Deontay Johnson because this was a guy that was he was a route runner. This is exactly the type of receiver Bryce needs, right? And then, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken, we also went and got Xavier Legette that year too. And so we went and got Xavier Legette, Deontay Johnson, highest paid offensive line in the league, right? Went and just
Yeah,
completely upgraded the offensive line. And
yeah,
what I told people, I said this on draft night. I said, I don't want to draft a receiver, but if you draft a receiver, draft Lad McConkey. He's a route runner. He uncovers underneath very quickly. That's what Bryce needs. Don't get him a player where he has to stretch the field because he struggles intermediate and deep. What they end up getting is Xavier Legette, who, if you just go read his draft profile, and look at him today, Xavier Legette is everything that was promised. He is a unpolished route runner who has 4.4 speed, who excels in the deep and intermediate ball. So you matched a weakness with a strength. So Bryce was never going to be able to get him the ball in any universe, right? And I'm not saying Xavier Leggett is good. I'm not saying that he should be better. What I'm saying is that if you put these two together, Xavier Leggett or any receiver of that archetype cannot be successful. Hence, Jonathan Mingo,
All in
DJ Chark.
water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jonathan
Got
Mingo,
to.
DJ Chark. Who am I missing? Those bigger, long stride guys who are not polished route runners
TMJ,
underneath.
TMJ,
TMJ.
DJ Charles,
TMJ. Right.
Xavier again.
Correct.
You would have found out what's the boy that got hurt this year? What his name? Braswell.
Brazel. Brazel. It would have been the
Yeah,
same thing with
you would have
Brazel. He
all in fucking
4.3
water.
unpolished route run. Yes.
Ah,
4.3. Yeah, and when they drafted Brazel, I said that's another one because what's happening is Dave Canales is trying to basically recreate sort of that run and gun scheme that he had at Tampa Bay. You run the ball, and then you have a big receiver that you can throw the ball down deep to, and then keep the defense honest against the run game, right? Because Dave Canales continuously is in the top of the NFL in rushing attempts or percentage of runs per plays or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, and that's what we want to create in Carolina, but you need the quarterback to execute it. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
I knew Xavier Leggett would be a bad pair from the beginning. My fault, brother. What do you say?
Yeah, no, I just said yes, sir. I'm agreeing.
Yep, yep,
100%.
yep, yep. Yeah, so we knew from the get go it was a bad pairing from the beginning. But here we go. We go into year two, and year two, the offensive line was worth every single penny. You get what I'm saying? They were
Hmm.
worth every single penny. They showed up. They played well. They showed out. And but those first three games, Bryce struggled. Bryce struggled. And what I loved about that set of receivers, you started seeing Adam Thielen get frustrated. You saw Deontay Johnson get real mad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah. Take
you,
a
you,
time
you,
bomb.
you yeah, you saw that. Those were receiver. That was a receiver that lets you know, hey, I was open. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and and then on top of that, uh, you know, so Bryce Young ends up getting sick. He ends up getting benched. I apologize that year, right? And when he gets benched, um, he sits for a little bit. Andy Dalton immediately comes in. He immediately comes in. The same offense, same receivers, and it looks completely different. He gave he gave Deontay Johnson a career high in receiving yards immediately. Same team, right?
Stretch the field. Just started stretching the
Stretch
field. Only thing
stretches
was
the field. Yep.
they got to
So
remember Derek Brown gets hurt.
mhm,
We had no defense. We had
correct.
no defense.
Correct.
I'm not using that as an excuse, but we had no defense behind
Yep.
the offense joke that we just got with Andy Dalton.
Correct. Correct. So everything we're investing in is giving us what we expected. I think Dan Morgan did a pretty decent job at that. Rarely am I seeing big contracts for just flops on return, right? Offensive line did their thing. Deontay Johnson showed that he can be a 50 catch guy who's a route runner, who's a chain mover. You know what I'm saying? And Andy Dalton came in and showed that. And so he ends up sitting out basically um, it helped Bryce Young. It helped them in year one because in year one, Bryce Young, up into the point where he got benched or injured or whatever like that, uh, uh, when that week, after that week that Bryce Young sit out for an injury, he came back still terrible, but a significantly better player. Still below par, but significantly better. Sitting seemed to help Bryce. Sitting and watching that Seattle game in year one helped Bryce. And in year two, sitting again helped Bryce again. Because it was clear that year one and early year two, Bryce just simply was not ready. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
you he finishes out the year fairly okay. A couple of decent games, one good, really good game, and a couple average sprinkled into bad games. It was just all over the place. He still finished again bottom third in almost every major passing statistic that is important for the second year in a row, right? Um, that's just something that's something that's going to be reoccurring. Um, I'm gonna see if I have anything from uh, that year that I even want to. I think I'm good on that. I'll be honest with you. Let's actually do that. Let's look at the 2024 season real quick because
Okay. Well,
you know.
let me get my man with the $5 super chat, Brandon Carthen, 5954. And Brandon says everything we've invested in has returned a great ROI,
Hmm.
except Bryce, coaching,
Hmm.
O line, wide receivers, defense, all
Hmm.
improved immediately following the
Yep.
investment.
Yep.
All improve immediately
Yep.
following the investment. He is
Correct.
absolutely correct.
Right.
Dave Canales came in, implemented a system, even though I didn't like the hey guys, this and that, you know what I'm saying? It
Hmm.
seemed to galvanize it. I mean, it worked because you got
Yep.
people that play scrappy team at home. We raise hell at home. We can't win a away game, but and I say because I always say um the team follows the coach's DNA, and I like that gritty, in your face guy more
Mhm.
than the happy go lucky guy, but it works.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right, Brandon.
Let
I
me.
appreciate.
And I'm sorry. Was there another one? My bad.
No, that was it. Go ahead, my brother. You got the floor.
As we go through this, though, I want to tear down narratives too. So one of the narratives that was going around in year one was yards per reception, or yards of separation. I apologize, right? Yards of separation. The Panthers have one of the lowest yards per separation in the NFL, right? So they basically found a stat and try to make it mean something that it really didn't mean, right? And I
Well,
broke this down on the show.
wasn't DJ Johnson like the number one separator in the NFL?
I think that's a different stat. So that there was a chart that went out of like his number one, his like separation, like during plays or something. Like what was his average separation during the play or whatever. He was number one in that, right? The
Mm-hmm.
yards of separation they were talking about was the catch point stat yards of separation.
Okay.
Basically, and guys, look this up. I always say, like, don't take my word or don't be like nah without looking it up. I mean, we got Google, we got AI. Just
Yeah,
look it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
right? Um, yards of separation is a catch point stat, right? When you catch the ball, what is the distance away of the nearest defender, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
that can have a lot of nuance. And, because, if your quarterback is choosing to throw short, right, or throw to the wrong guy, or force the ball, your yards for a separation is going to be low, right? I did a breakdown that showed that year. I showed that most of the top receivers in the top 10 in reception were at the bottom in yards of separation because receivers or quarterbacks are getting them the ball intentionally in tight spaces, right? And the only outlier to that year was Tariq Hill, right? He was just blowing the top off of things, right? And he was separating from guys like it was crazy, right? That was just different. But most of the top receivers had some of the lowest yards of separation in the league because it's a catch point stat. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
measuring at any given point on the play how far away is every
Separation between
receiver.
yeah, between the
Right.
defender. Okay.
Correct. Right. And with
Okay.
Bryce Young, if and I brought up his passing chart in year one, Bryce Young threw the overwhelming majority of his passes below the 10-yard mark, right? And so tight defense, linebackers on guys, not giving they're not deep and intermediate where guys can have time to separate when they catch the ball. A lot of the stuff was catch defender right on them. You get what I'm saying? So that stat didn't mean what people want it to mean. And so when you look at year 2024, despite him improving, he still had his true completion percentage ranked him 33rd in the league. Passing percentage under pressure was 30th in the league. Clean pocket completion percentage was 34th in the league. Even when you gave him a clean pocket, and it was the same thing year one, he was last in the league in clean pocket percentage. So year one, worst in the league in clean pocket completion percentage. So if you're not being pressured, you're still struggling. If you give him all these offensive lineman weapon and some of the most time in the league for the second year in a row, and actually for most of the year this time because we paid for the offensive line, the clean pocket completion percentage is still one of the worst in the league. And one thing I don't have is, I think I haven't found this advanced statistic because I don't think anyone tracks it anymore. But it was off-target throws to open receiver. They had it. They had it in year one to open receivers. He was worse in the league in off-target throws to open receivers. So I saw that then. If the pocket is clean and the receiver is open, there's still no worse quarterback getting the ball to the receiver than Bryce.
But they
That's
told me
how
he
I knew he
improved.
was in trouble.
They told me he improved from year one to year two after the benching.
Let
I
me
was
let,
told he
let
improved.
let's talk about the word improving. Improving is relative, go. It's relative, right? I can
Hmm.
go out and practice basketball every single day and I'm going to improve, but I won't be good enough to play in the NBA, right? We are not challenging, and I'm not challenging whether Bryce Young improved, whether Bryce Young has had good games. I'm not challenging that. What I am challenging is that even the slightest improvement is not good enough because you still
Oh,
have the same problems.
okay, okay,
Yes, sir. And because
okay.
you would be remiss to say that the deep ball got better, his deep ball strength got better this year. But I'm gonna dig into some fake statistic people are bringing about, like best deep ball thrower in the league, yada yada. We're gonna break that down. We're still in year
Surely
two.
not. Surely not a fake statistic.
Yeah,
Surely
yeah,
not.
yeah, 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 yeah. They'll
Okay,
do
okay.
anything. They'll do anything. We're gonna break
Surely
that
not.
down, though. We're gonna break that down, and hopefully, man, maybe we'll at the end of this we'll talk a little bit about the psychology of it and why people are doing this, right? Why are people so attached and feel the need to do this, right? Like if you love the team, you want to put together the best group of players in there to do it. Every player that gets drafted is to replace a player that's not performing. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, so
I
we year that's year two. I want to see if there's anything that we can point out in year two. His deep ball passer rate in year two was 50, was bottom in the league. Play action catchable rate 35th in the league. Clean pocket catchable rate 29th in the league. Uh, Blitz catchable rate 33rd in the league. Passer rating versus man 34. It goes on. There's more. It just goes on. I talk your head off if I was just wanting to just talk about all the things that he just was bottom in the league in, right?
bottom, just
Um,
bottom.
yeah, we go into this year though, and the Panthers, um, they really just they doubled down on it, man. They doubled down on it as far as getting him more help. And to be honest with you, this is
So they
what
go
we
back
were.
to the
This is
well. They go back to the well again.
They
Yet
go back to the
again.
well again, yet again.
Yeah.
So this
And,
is the second.
and a $5, my man Achiever with the $5 super chat. He says, what's up, fellas? Glad you're on the show, E. Long
Appreciate it.
overdue. They love you out there, brother. They love you out there.
Appreciate
Go
it,
to
man.
Panther Theory, man. And y'all sub up, man. Y'all get these likes up around here. Sub up, man. This is what we try to bring you, man. Like I say,
Mhm.
learning channel. We just tried to erase the lies and the untruths, giving you
Mm,
facts. This man is telling you, he said, this is Googleable stuff. Googleable. If that's a word,
yes,
Googleable.
I believe so.
Googleable. Googleable. My goodness. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
This information is not hidden in the Vatican, people. You know what I'm saying? It's not under rocks and thousands of miles of tunnels. It's
yep,
Googleable.
yep.
You can see. Oh my God! Go ahead, Elaine. I'm just I can't do it. I can't stand it no more.
Yeah. So now year three go. We're going back to the well, as you say, and this is not what we were promised. When he was drafted, David Tepper interrupted the press conference and just went on about how you don't have to invest so much into the offense and the receivers because he's going to be like a point guard and be able to distribute the ball. This is that's and so what we
He
end up
said
doing.
it at the
He said,
draft on live TV.
"Yes, sir."
Once
So this
again,
is
Googleable.
yep,
Googleable.
yep. Go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? And so this is not what we promised. And so what ends up happening, Gold, is that now we are 3 years in, and we haven't made any major investment in the defense. You get what I'm saying? And
Yes, sir.
one thing I want to point out is that the year one we had a little bit of residual from the defense because the defense ended up being number three in total defense. But a lot of people blame defense. Oh, we lost because of the defense. The defense was number three in total yards, but worse in the league in points. Right? Now we have to think, go, how do you allow points without allowing yards? Right? I'm gonna take it slow for people. How are you the number three passing total defense? Right? You're number three total defense, but you're worse in the league in points allowed. The only way you can do that, the only way you can allow another team but to score points without moving the ball on you is field position. Field position is related to the inefficiencies of your own offense. You
Mm-hmm.
don't move the ball, you punt. The other team's at the 45 down, right? They only got to move
Lord.
the ball 20 yards, 30 yards to get in field position.
Oh my God. My God. My God.
Everything affects each other. When you have when you have the most inefficient offense in the league, you have a defense that's going to be inefficient.
That's that's why we rank 32nd in defense. I mean, run
Correct.
defense every year
Correct.
in and year out and year in and year out. It's a
Exactly.
direct account of the offense. A
And, and,
direct.
and, and a lot of that go had a lot to do with the Panthers of teams playing ahead on us. So when and I love Derek Brown. I think he's an excellent run stopper. But when he got 100 tackles in one season, we had the most run attempts against in the league, right? Because teams were just
But he's
constantly running
only
the
one
ball on us.
man
Yeah,
though, Elaine. He's one
correct,
man. You can run
correct.
away from him. You can double team him. You can chip block him. You can. He's one man,
Yes, sir.
and they never
Exactly.
got a three. I preach over here three take, three take, three take, three take.
Yep, yep,
They never
yep.
got a three take to put in it.
And I said that, man. Running shy tuttle, 300 pounds, 6'1", a
Oh
nose
my
tackle. What kind of clown stuff is that?
Oh my God. I don't even want to get into that. I don't even
But
want to.
but you
Makes
can't.
me
They just couldn't invest in the offense, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the issue. The defense. My apologies. So we neglected the defense with the offense. So we have two first round picks and a second round pick at receiver already in his third year, including a contract for Deontay Johnson. And am I missing a receiver we brought in? No, no, I think I'm good. That's all of them. But those are pretty high draft picks for receivers that we brought in. So where am I at, man? I'm going into
going into year
was
three.
I
You're going into year
year
three.
three? Year three.
Yeah.
All right.
Last
So
season.
year three, Tedero McMillan's in there, and I wasn't really a fan of drafting a receiver, but I saw Tedero McMillan. I said, okay, he's a deep threat guy, but he can run the whole route tree, right? Um, and I'm sure he'll be halfway decent, but I don't think he'll reach his peak underneath Bryce Young per se, right? So we come into this year, so we have the offensive line, and then we got a true number ones receiver, 6'5". What does he run, like a 4.4 something? He speed ain't a problem with Tedder McMillan. We could just say that, right? We can all agree, right?
He's not blinding speed like Leggett or Chalk or Johnson, but he
Mhm.
has enough speed to get behind them, and he's tall,
Correct.
and his catch radius is wide, and yeah. He's
Well,
an
well,
average.
well said, man. And so, despite that, we just ROI is just so important because despite that, you want to read that real quick?
Uh, I got my man Red Swarm. Hey, I'm driving right now. Can you read that for me, Elaine?
Yeah. Let me pull up my
'Cause
phone
that's
real
a
quick,
lengthy
man.
one right now.
Curious
I
how many
got on
members
read.
of the Beehive or the Bryce Sexuals show up to defend the great QB against Eric. None, I bet. They can't argue facts. They only argue their feelings. Well said. You know what I mean?
I
So,
mean,
yeah,
we
go.
appreciate Red Swarm for the 9.99 super chat, and that's coming from a Falcon fan. That's hey
Yes,
man,
sir.
I, I can't say
Yep.
anything. A lot of time I be just flabbergasted, man, like of the
Mm,
way that a lot of these guys be thinking around here, or like say the fictitious facts that they dig up and things
mm,
like that. Like
mhm,
and I'm not supposed to go back and refute this stuff by like no,
mhm.
or I guess like some of these YouTubers out here, if you kick back on them, they kick you off because they oh
Yeah.
he's a hater and don't come back
Yeah.
over here no more. So
Yep. That's a fact.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
So, go. We're in year two, and so what ends up happening is they get him a number one receiver. Surely now, you got the offensive line. You finally get a number one receiver. He didn't get weapons. He doesn't have get weapons. I should surely see some fairly noticeable difference in your performance, right? And what ended up happening, go, is we didn't really see that, right? We saw an anemic passing game all year long. And to be honest with you, if you go into the point that uh not Deontay Foreman, what's his name? The gentleman we got from the Cowboys. Um Help me out, go.
You
I
said
always forget
not
his name. The running
who
back,
you looking for?
the running back from last year, backup running back.
Oh Jonathan Brooks, the one that got
No, no,
hurt.
no, 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 no. What we
Uh
got from the Cowboys, 200-yard games and stuff like
Rico
that.
Dowdle,
Rico Dowd,
Rico
thank
Dowdle,
you. I always forget his name, man. I don't know why. So,
Rico, my man,
yeah,
Rico.
Rico Dowd. Rico Dowd. The passing game was completely anemic last year, early on, right? Jacksonville 154. He completed 51% of his passes against Jacksonville. This is year three. What are we
Uh,
doing?
terrible game, terrible game. I
Correct.
was in the
Terrible game.
terrible game, terrible.
Yeah. He had a decent game against Arizona in a loss, right? 328. But if I'm not mistaken, Arizona lost their two starting corners in that game midway through the
And they took
game.
their foot. They took their foot off the gas in the
Right.
third quarter because they were up.
Bryce was kind of Bryce was struggling through the game, and Arizona ended up losing to their starting corners, and he starts to get off a little bit. Okay, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so he did fairly well. He came around and played Atlanta 121 yards, New England 154 yards, right? Uh,
Ass cutting. That was
my
an ass beat. Just an ass cutting
correct,
in New England.
correct. Yeah, and Miami, 198, two touchdowns, and interception. Somewhat normal NFL game for a quarterback that has an average day. You know what I'm saying? Um,
hmm But that was the game that Rico emerged.
Correct. And we end up winning that game, right? And I want to talk about that because that was very telling. The passing offense was kind of struggling to that point. And when Rico Dow came in and gave you 200 yards, he had two games in which he put up 200 yards on the ground and one
On the
which he
ground.
put up 200 yards from scrimmage, all right,
On
total.
the
And I'm sorry, Joe, you saying something, brother?
no, on the ground. 200
Yeah.
yards on the ground. Yeah.
200 yards on the ground, and we barely won those games. We barely won those games. A 8-win team barely won 3 games in the moment where we were struggling the most on offense, despite a running back putting 200 yards up. All right. And I look at things like that when I look at projections and how we're moving forward. But that 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 really just saved the season. A lot of Panther fans don't want to really admit that, but that saved the season. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so I want to talk a little bit about the Atlanta game, right? This is, you know, once or twice a year ago, a game will come around that completely vindicates or what they feel like is vindicate Bryce fans, right? As far as I told you he hasn't did them, I told you he hasn't did them. One of those games was the Green Bay game against a team that rolled up as off of one of the worst pass defenses in the league and fresh off a historically bad PFF grade, worst of all time in pass defense. Bryce puts up
Mhm.
300 rookie season. Oh, we're vindicated. He's the guy. He also had a really good game against Atlanta the year prior, which Atlanta defense was crappy then too. But this year, really good game against Atlanta, right? We have to point out, though, that Atlanta had the number 30 passing defense last year. Number 30. You got to go out there and play. But why is it that this young man keeps only performing against the worst of teams? You get what I'm saying? Atlanta had the
When they have
30th.
a bad defensive backfield, he has career days. When you
Correct.
have a bad defensive backfield, the kid has career days.
Correct.
That's all it
So,
boils down to, man.
yeah.
I'm gonna get this. Brandon Carter
Go ahead, brother.
again. I appreciate the $5 super chat. He says they went in with one already hurt and two lost in the midst of the game, along
Also,
with
three
their
corners. Three
DL
corners back.
as
Yeah.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
talking about the Arizona game, and
Yeah.
yeah, they got estimated right there. Like I said, in the middle of the game, coming out of the locker room out the half, third quarter, took they foot off the
Hmm.
gas, and then Calais Campbell and this and that right there, they just tightened up at the end, boom, won the game.
Hmm.
But they were so far damn ahead, you know what I'm saying? Because I think he started out slow. I think he had a fumble or interception or something like that. He
Hmm.
dug us so far behind, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't
Yeah.
get ahead.
Correct. And yeah, so basically he had three corners. They end up being down three corners by the middle of the game, and Bryce get 300 yards. Basically, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not that I can't celebrate. It's not that I can't celebrate a good thing though. It's I like things that are replicatable, right? I like things that I can depend on, right?
Yeah,
Can I
consistency. Can you go out there and
consistency?
give me 250, 250, 250, 200, 225, 250? You know what I'm saying? And let's move the
Correct.
ball consistently. And I told him, Elaine, before the season, I said, man, with the defense and with this and that, I said the Carolina Panthers would have to give us 21 to 28 points a game for us to be competitive. 19
That's,
points a game.
that's a hard lift,
That's
man.
what
It's a hard lift. And so I want to really talk about GOAT because when you looked at Bryce Young last year, um, that Atlanta game was okay. It was okay. He got off in the Atlanta game or whatever against one of the worst teams in the league. Well, let's take a look at when he plays uh, a top defense, right? Um,
Mhm.
he ended up playing Seattle. Seattle was the
Woo!
number 9 ranked defense that year, right?
Mhm.
He had 54 yards. That was week 16, I think. We're at the end of we're at the end of year 3. So he's put in almost 3 whole years in the NFL, and we have a starting quarterback that is capable of putting up 54 yards, right?
Yeah.
And 54 yards. I mean, I maybe just tell you what the completion percentage is. I mean, it was probably horrific, to be able to throw 54 yards. Yeah, 58% completion percentage, 54 yards, an average of 2.3 yards per attempt. I've never
Yeah.
seen yards per attempt that low ever.
Two,
I've never
two,
seen it that low,
two
right?
point three yards an attempt, y'all.
The N
2.3 yards an attempt, y'all.
that is the league average is about 7.2. 7.2.
2.3 yards an attempt, y'all.
Yep, yep.
You can lean forward under
Hmm.
center and get 2.3 yards an attempt, y'all.
Exactly. So year one, Andy Dalton finished as one of the highest yards per attempt quarterbacks on the Panthers with that one game he played. Year two, they were basically tied within a tenth of a point, and then year three, Bryce finally gets up to 6.3, but the league average is like 7.2. You have people like Drake May is at like 8.7, right? You get what I'm saying?
Wait,
Those are
I have to stop you right there. Around these parts, we call
yeah.
him the Great May, the Great
The
Drake May.
great the great May is at about 8.7, right?
Yeah,
You can't scream weapons at this point
Carolina's
because
own, Charlotte's own King Tar Heel, the Great
yes,
Drake
sir.
May.
Yes, sir. Homegrown. And so, and a lot of times people like to say, "Oh, well, the weapons we need more. We need more." What I'm saying is that when you when you invest in something, go. I'm sure you're a smart man. You got investments, right?
I
You're gonna
trouble, yeah, a couple of, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, even your business is an investment, right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
yes,
when you venture into a business and you put money in, you're gonna want to put money out and see a little trickle and say, okay, if I'm getting this back based on what I invested,
little
let me
return,
invest
just a
more.
little return. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Let me invest more. Right. And what I'm saying is that to go get the highest paid offensive line, to get a top 10 receiver, to draft receivers, the return on investment is low.
Mm-hmm.
When Bryce Young had a historically bad season, his rookie season, the talent was not historically bad. You had three people, at least 3 years removed from a Pro Bowl. You get what I'm saying? DJ
Mm-hmm.
Chark, Adam Thielen, and Sanders were all 3 years removed from at least from a Pro Bowl, right? Not saying they're the greatest, and this is the complete line all receivers that would have any quarterback in the Pro Bowl. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that that assortment of talent is not historically bad.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? The
yeah,
performance,
yeah.
the quarterback's return does not match the assets you invested in it. And that is a reoccurring theme with Bryce Young. So we're in year three, and I'll tell you, man, year three, and this will come up again when I talk about the Rams game, right? Because a lot of times, as Panther fans, we look at things in a way. Um, we look at things in a way of, well, we almost won, or if the defense would have did this. But what I do is I look throughout the whole game, right? And things that are happening throughout the game affect the outcome, the decisions that are made, where you ultimately are at the end of the game. And when you look at Bryce Young, one of the biggest killers of his is the second quarter in this in the in the in games, right? This year, in the second quarter, he is only completing 57% of his passes, right? That lack of efficiency leads to three and outs, stagnated offenses, and is probably one of the biggest reasons the Panthers only led in 5 games last year going into the half. Five. So with the Panthers leading in only 5 games going into the half last year, What do you think happened to Bryce Young's completion percentage coming out to the third quarter? Go.
Oh man, it's terrible.
Well,
Terrible.
no. So we're behind.
Yeah.
We're behind.
So
So his completion percentage starts to go up because, like you said earlier,
oh
that
well. See, you know what I'm thinking when I say it's
yeah,
terrible. I'm like, okay, well now you're behind, and then you're
mhm,
gonna have to get yourself in a passing situation. You're forced to pass.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's not completing, so it's terrible. But
Well,
they're not
mhm,
throwing like I always say around here,
mhm,
20 to 25 times. He anytime, and I looked this up, Elaine,
mhm,
to make a point one time. Anytime they throw over 30, 35, we lose that, and
mhm.
it's terrible. It's
Yes,
terrible number. So
correct.
20 to 25 times, you see what I'm saying? He's got
Hmm.
good numbers. Of course, that's less passes.
That's right.
But
That's right.
when you were saying that a few minutes ago, I was thinking that you were saying that they had to pass. I was thinking in the game when
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
behind,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we got to try to pass.
But
Yeah. So yeah.
what ends up
Because
happening? What
I
ends
say
up?
that all the time. I tell people that all the
Yeah.
time around here.
But what ends up happening? Because here's the thing. I was hard on Dave Canales and his track record coming in. I'll give Dave Canales credit. He has found ways to utilize Bryce to the best of his ability because what he's doing is he's trading the explosiveness of the offense and trying to dial in with the efficiency. So that's why with Bryce Young,
Yeah,
the
he
interceptions
took the
are
ball out
low.
of his hand. He took the
Right.
ball out of his hand. He was running it with Rico and Chuba. He took the
Yep.
ball out of his hand. He kept him the 20 to 25 times passing the ball, so he
Hmm.
wouldn't fuck up the flow of the game. And
Hmm.
and just he found a happy medium. He
Yeah.
found a happy medium.
So what you end up having, go in that second quarter, Bryce Young's completing 57% of his passes. That's the real Bryce. That's the game is close and you're in the midst of the game and
That's
you're
his
depending
ceiling.
on Bryce to be efficient, right? That's
That's his ceiling.
57%.
That's who he
That's
is. That's his ceiling. That's what you're
that
gonna get, y'all. You're
that's the
not
real
gonna get
Bryce.
no.
Non
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So then what I tell you, I said, look, the Panthers, um, the Panthers only led 5 times last year. So when you look at his third quarter numbers, Bryce Young goes from 57% completion percentage and 5.3 yards per attempt, which is well below the league average, to in the
Mm-hmm.
third quarter, he's at 69.4 completion percentage,
Mm-hmm.
7.1 yards per attempt because we're
See what
down.
I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
When
I
it
didn't know that.
matters,
We only led in 5 games. We only led in
yeah,
5 games, and the completion. I
correct.
mean, we were getting rocked per clip. How many yards per clip in the
Uh,
past game?
5.3
Five,
5.3
five,
yards
five
per
point,
attempt in the
five
second
point,
quarter.
5.3. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not gonna cut it, y'all. That's not gonna
yeah,
cut it, y'all. That's not gonna cut
right,
it, y'all. That's not, I'm gonna say it again. That's not gonna cut it, y'all. Five point,
correct.
5.3, 2.3 in one game. That's not gonna cut it, y'all. That's
Correct.
not gonna cut
So, so what Panther fans will do is um, they'll say, "Man, well, that the end of the game, that one receiver could have he dropped the ball." It's an efficiency game all the way through. There's something that's going on that is affecting, and I want to, and I want to attack another excuse that they made too. You know, year one they were saying all these drops, all these drops. Year one, the Panthers were bottom third in the league in drops, and Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl having the most drops in the league. Right? So just
it.
we want to be right and exact with that. I want to also point out. Go, my fault, brother. Go ahead.
No. I'm with you. Well. Let me. I got one. Brandon Carter. Once again, he refers back to the Green Bay game. He said not to mention the Green Bay game. Rico Dowdle had more rushing, 120 yards. Than Bryce had passing, 102
Yep.
yards. Talk
Yep.
about inconsistent. Oh, I mean, over and over and over again. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? And people say we beat this boy and this and that. I'm not beating this
Yes.
kid. People say I heard Leo say the other day he would let his niece marry this kid. You understand what
He's
I'm
a good
saying?
guy.
Good
But
guy.
and I'll be
You know
remiss
what
to
I'm saying?
say Bryce Young seems like a good guy. He does.
Good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we've been out here an hour and 14 minutes, and we showing 100, 120 yards from the running back, 102 yards
Mhm.
from the quarterback,
Mhm.
2.3 yards a clip, 5.7 yards a clip. That's not good enough. That's not
Yeah,
good enough, y'all.
that second
As a
quarter is
quarterback,
the reason
not as a
you are
person,
behind going.
not as a young
Yep.
man, as a
Yep.
quarterback. That's all
Yep.
he's seen. That's it. And I seen some people, you know what I'm saying, saying some things in the chat. Oh well, you understand what I'm saying? If you don't like it, there's a little button right there. It's probably red, and
Mhm.
I see you. I love you.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, it is what it is. But this is a fact.
Yeah.
It's just a
How
fact.
do you have? How do you, I don't even know how you have something to say. The numbers speak for themselves. Like, don't argue with me. Just have Bryce Young show it on the field, right? And you can't argue for somebody who's bottom third in the league in almost in every important stat for 3 years in a row, and it's going to
Yeah,
probably be 4 years in a row.
yeah.
In the spirit of Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton's trash. I know that's the point, guys, right? Bryce played that top 10 defense, number nine, in Buffalo and Seattle, and he had 54 yards. Well, we played another top 10 defense that year too, last year too, but Bryce Young didn't play that game. Andy Dalton did, right?
Yeah.
Andy Dalton didn't really have a great game that game, 175, right? But in respects to Tedero McMillan, that was top five performances all year by Tedero McMillan. Top five in yards per reception, top five in yards, top five in catches. Andy Dalton playing a number seven defense, a top 10 defense, 175, Tedero McMillan's top five performances. Bryce Young plays a top 10 defense, 54 yards. The only good game he really had when he got off was against the number 30th defense. Every game, there's one or two games that vindicate him every single year. And when you look a little bit below the surface, it's one of the worst defenses in the league. That's a problem,
Mhm.
right? So efficiency is really the game. And so now, year three, I'm going to break out year three, some of the really important numbers in respect. Because year three, here we are. He has a number one receiver, had the offensive line for 2 years in a row. Croker looks halfway decent in the whole nine. And I want to just talk about a little bit about return on investments, right? Like, before I kind of get into the numbers. You and I can agree that. Tedero McMillan is a significantly better receiver than at that point than Adam Thielen was. At this point, does that make sense? Could you agree with
All
that?
day, he younger, stronger, faster, the better, taller, bigger, this, that, this,
Yep.
anything. Yeah, all day.
So, so this year, why, if that's the case, if I got you a top 10 receiver and the offensive line and a number two and a number three receiver, some of the most time in the league, and why did your number one receiver in year one average 56 yards a game, right? And in year two, your number one receiver is only averaging 58 yards a game. And in year one, Bryce Young threw more. Make that make sense.
It's a dependent position. It's dependent on the quarterback, y'all. It's a
Right.
dependent position. You can go get
It-
Justin Jefferson, y'all, and I
right.
swear for God, it won't be too much of a difference. It won't
I,
be
I, I
too much.
would think
Jamar
I
Chase won't
think
be too much.
exactly. I think Tedero McMillan it has all the makings of an elite receiver. Why is he averaging the same amount of yards a game than Adam Thielen after you've gotten the offensive line, after you've gotten more qualified receivers around him? Why am I getting the same results? Someone has to answer that, right? Now, and these are the kind of things people, when you're just a fan, right? Um, these are the kind of things, you put your pom poms on and stuff like that, and you don't look at these type of things. You get what I'm saying? um, the return on investment for him is minimal. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as we start to get into sort of the future and what we should do in the whole nine. But I'm always looking on return on investment. Now, as we round out, I wanna just get this one all the way out of the way, Goat, because one of the ones I hear people do is they bring up Bryce Young was number one in the league in deep ball uh, accuracy. Have you heard people say that one?
Yes, sir.
Deep
Yes, sir.
ball. Let me get the actual thing they be saying. Go, give me a second here. Let me actually get to the right year here. Oh, let me get Bryce up here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
look
what
at
the
the
whole
numbers.
thing was about, they was giving you
Mhm.
the illusion that he was throwing the ball deep, early, often, consistently. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna break that all the way
But
down for you. Go.
yeah, but it was a different stat, just like the separation thing that
Yep.
you can't. You know, so we're just out here
Uh,
today to just smash a lot of these lies going into year 4, y'all. So you can
yep.
make. I guess it took 4 years for you to make an educational assumption on what you have. So
Absolutely.
hopefully this show today shows you what you have, and then the season will show you some more.
Here it is. So, and throughout the years, some people will say number one, number three, end up being number eight. Go. Bryce Young end up being number eight in deep ball completion percentage, right? Deep ball completion percentage. And what we have to look at, everything has to be looked at in context, right? Everything has a
Hmm.
context. Bryce Young actually was bottom in the league in attempts, right? It's the
Hmm.
equivalent. And also not only was he bottom of the league in attempts, he was bottom of the league in yards per attempt. You cannot tout how deep accurate of a deep passer he is in one of the least explosive offenses in the league. He only has that statistic because he rarely did it. They picked their moments. He was 27th in the league in passing attempts deep. They were 27th in the league, and they picked their opportunities to do it. So out of 487 throws, he only threw downfield. And when we talked, I was incorrect. I was off by a few numbers. 39 times, 487, 39 times he went past 20 yards. Go, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
39, right? So what I do is I draw an equivalency. You ever see stats and it says of qualified players or something like that? You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They do that stat because if you haven't done it a lot, your numbers are going to be skewed. If I run twice for 60 yards, my yards per carry is going to be 30. But I ran only
Yeah.
twice, right?
I
really,
only did it twice. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a 5.1 yards per carry guy, right? I'm a good running
Hmm.
back, but
Hmm.
I'm not a 30 yards a carry guy. And so what you end up
Yeah.
happening is Dave Canales basically completely dialed back the offense and made it less explosive and picked their spot selectively. We're only going downfield where we have super high chances of connecting because we're going to bring down these interceptions of Bryce. So if we run the ball and we just play underneath and take our shots, then we probably have a good opportunity to win the game. But that makes the
Yeah.
offense more explosive. So don't tout to me about best deep ball thrower when he rarely did it and he's on the least explosive offense in the league. You following
Okay.
me, Go?
I got you. 100%.
Now, now
100%.
when we look up,
I'm
go ahead,
gonna
brother.
stop you for 1 second. My guy Red Swarm, with the $5 super chat said Mr. Trubisky, Malik Willis, led the league in deep ball accuracy at 100%.
Yep.
And also, let's get this out the way. My guy Creekside said, would Canales care if Bryce get a injury Saturday?
Mhm.
I don't know, Creekside. I don't. You know how I feel about that. You know they disconnected Dave Canales from Bryce Young, and Canales don't rock with Bryce Young.
Mhm.
It's been, I done told you, Adam Gold said that this is a nationally syndicated radio personality, says he says he's know people in the building that says that. So a lot of these guys, their credibility is on the line when they say stuff like that. Yeah, they're not just gonna say stuff like this. And you know, y'all say, he don't know what he's talking about. These people know more people than you do, than I do. They're in the this is their job. They talk to people. People call them, so they know. They're not gonna come out to Bryce. Dave Canales is not gonna come out there and say, I want Bryce to get hurt, or I don't like Bryce, or I can't wait till I get another quarterback. He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna do that.
Mhm.
So, but he's gonna tell somebody else and hope they leak it,
That's
and
right.
that way the reporters out there gonna put it out there, and when they put it out there, they just not saying bullshit. But go
Right.
ahead, E.
And one more thing, just to kind of just close the coffin on this deep accuracy. The Panthers last year were number 23 in explosive rate, right? And bottom of the third in the league, right? So again, look, if you're going to tout complete deep ball completion percentage, I better see explosive offense. You know what I'm saying? I
You
better
have
see high
to.
yards per attempt. I have to.
That was one of the things they said. ESPN, the Panthers are lacking explosive plays, no home run hitters. The home run hitter left and went to Pittsburgh, Enrico Dowd,
Yep. Yep.
who was getting you 200 some yards. It showed in the
Yep.
yards, it showed in the play on the field, and
Yep.
it equal to wins.
Yep.
I mean, come on, y'all.
Yep. When we
But
and then
my God,
okay,
my God.
you know, one thing he did improve on is his completion percentage under pressure, right? Got a better receiver, so I mean that helped a little bit, right? I'd be remiss if I didn't admit that. But when you look at Bryce Young, still bottom of the league in most important stats. I mean, clean pocket completion percentage, he's 26 in the league, right? His clean pocket completion percentage is 65.3, which sounds good, but it's 26 in the league. You give most NFL level quarterbacks a clean pocket, they're going to deliver the ball at a much higher clip. You get what I'm saying? You look at his red zone catchable rate. Player profile, guys. PFF player profile. You guys can go look this up yourself. Don't ever as I always tell people. I don't sit around and just agree or believe anything everybody says. I take in new information. If I've never heard it before, I don't agree or disagree with it. I go look it up for myself. Right. I've heard people, you introduce new information to certain people, they'll go, no, no, you know what I mean? And they
Yeah,
don't really have a review. So, just something, take that, like I said, you know what I mean?
and that's like
Um,
336 says with the 199 says clearly the stat is PFF deep ball passer rate 99.7. And
mhm.
that's exactly.
Yep, yep. His catchable rate versus the blitz is 29th in the league. Uh, what is it here, man? I mean, it's bad. I think dang, it's not here. His pressure rate was one of the lowest in the league too. Uh, he had one
Yeah,
of the
because
lowest
because
pressure.
we put we put the money in the line. We
We
just
put
spent
the money in the line,
150 some million.
and I think they don't understand that. And I kind of just ease past that. If you got a quarterback who has some of the most time in the league, an average quarterback will look above average. Should look above average, right?
I mean that's
Um,
the goal. That's the
and that's the
goal.
goal. Yeah.
Put the other pieces around, because they say around here, oh, you must don't want them to get weapons. You must don't want them to get this and that. But when you put all the resources on the offensive side, you're taking
Hmm.
away from the defensive side. You're not playing complementary ball. That's not going to equal to win. They
Hmm.
start even telling you the formula. You have to have a top 10 something to help the mid level, whatever else you got. Because
Yeah.
that one that's in the top 10, clearly all the talent is on that side of the ball. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
That's a fact.
But we don't
And I,
have a top 10 anything.
and his receivers yards per reception was number 32 in the league, dead last. Right. This is after your investment. Still can't crack it. You know what I'm saying?
Still can't crack. Still can't crack it.
Yeah.
Still can't crack it.
QBR. QBR, which sort of measures the overall performance of the quarterback down distance situations, 21st in the league, bottom third, right? So it's just not, no matter how you spin it, first down rate 29th in the league. That's more, and I'll say that's more of a team thing, you know what I'm saying, and stuff
Yes,
like
sir.
that. But, no matter how you spin it, it's just not good, go. And so then when you look at a game like the playoff game we had, where we we almost pulled it off. It almost looked good, right? Um, but I was telling people that, as I said earlier, as fans, we like to go look at certain moments of the game, but the
Uh-huh.
game is about how efficient you are throughout the game. That leads to certain situations. You wouldn't be behind if your quarterback is completing 45% of his passes. You get what I'm saying? Like, forget that one receiver that dropped one at the end, right? We've been inefficient the whole game, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so when you're looking at that Rams game, first when we beat the Rams the first time, we picked them off 3 times, right? That had a lot to do with it, right? Now the second time around, going into midway of the third quarter, Bryce Young was completing 50% of his passes, like 52% of his passes, right? I don't have to tell you that a quarterback completing 52% of his passes, your offense is probably not doing too well in the game. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? You missed a lot of opportunities, a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of short
yeah,
fields
yeah,
for your
yeah,
defense.
yeah, yeah. And you
And,
already
and
told them, if you miss opportunity, if you punt the ball, that's field position. So if you break it down to at least 4 plays, a quarter, and
right,
time that by 4, and this and that, that tells you how many cracks at it you get, and your field positioning comes in. So it don't come down to, you may look at it and say, well, that one play at the end, but no, there was other missed opportunities in the duration of the game
all
that caused the
throughout the game.
outcome of the game. So yeah, you look at it right there at the end and say, if this guy would have caught this, and right there at the end, we could have won. But that's just a fallacy that put us in that position and came to the overall outcome, y'all. So
And,
when
and,
you,
and the only,
yeah,
I'll go finish that thought.
yeah, no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
All I'm saying is that if you had a slightly more consistent and efficient quarterback, like if you had one of those quarterbacks that are not in the bottom third of the league in almost every important stat, the game script and the game flow looks completely different, right?
Exactly,
That's how. Remember, I said earlier. I said the Panthers had the number 3 total defense, but was the worst defense in yards. The only way you
yeah,
do that is offensive inefficiency. There's no other way in the NFL to collect points without yards, except just having good field position when you when the defense is on or the opposing team comes on the field
yeah,
on offense, right? So that was kind of thing. People were arguing with me then. Go, they were saying, "Well, man, we almost won it. If what's his name wouldn't have dropped the ball, this is the Rams game, right?" And just fans just don't get it. It's an overall efficiency. All you're saying to me is that despite Bryce Young, because he was like, was he 21 of 42 or something in the Rams game, something like that. You know what I mean? Like you can't win consistently like that. You can't be 22 or
you
40 or
can't be,
whatever
yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
that's like 50%. You can't be middle of the road out here, y'all. Like I
Right.
just like you just
The,
can't be like middle of the
the
road. Just,
The average completion percentage in NFL
yeah,
right now is like 63. It's like
you
63. You
haven't.
got elite guys hitting
Yeah,
70.
yeah, seven. Yeah, see, we tell them all the time. 70%
Yep.
is elite. Seven seventy
Yes.
percent of anything. 75% of anything
Correct.
is elite. That
Correct.
mean you corner the market.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying.
Correct.
You have the majority
Your
of anything.
efficiency. You're moving. You're moving.
Yeah,
You're moving the
fifty
ball
percent,
efficiently. Yep.
50%. Y'all, come on.
And,
Y'all know
and,
what
and,
fifty
the,
percent is. Yeah, come on.
and the most important thing, Gold, is even when you're completing at a high clip, even when you're not scoring, you're flipping the field and giving your defense a better chance consistently.
Giving them a better, yeah, giving them a better chance. Giving them a better chance.
Correct. You're giving them a
Helping
better
them out.
chance. And
Giving them
that's
a
what
better
I
chance.
saw in the Rams game. In the Rams game, we lost the field position battle because the offense was so inefficient most of the game. And it's not that he needs to score every time, but if Bryce Young would have went out there and completed a first down and got 8 yards on the second when we punted, that's a whole lot different than a three and out. A three and outs hurt. You know what I'm saying? They hurt you bad.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's small. The game is played on a micro level where these little things make sense. These little efficiencies and inefficiencies make sense into the game flow and the game script. And when you have a quarterback that's inefficient, don't just look at the last part of the game and say, "Well, we almost won. If we would have." Well,
Hmm.
almost is the reason why he is 14 and like 32, right? Those inefficiencies, right? There was a lot of almost moments in Bryce Young's career that would have been wins if you had a more efficient quarterback throughout, right? So when you look at this long term, go, I say, I established 3 years in a row. He's finishing bottom of the league at almost every important stat. No matter what you seem to add to the situation, we're not getting significantly better. You got some of the most time in the league. You got a number one receiver. Like, what else can we do to help this guy out? And at this point, he's going into year four. They picked up the 5th year option, and if the situation becomes you have to pay this guy, the Panthers currently have $8 million in cap space right now, right? That means this is not a team that is up. This is not a team with 20, $30 million in cap space. We have 8 million
Hmm.
in cap space. We're up against the cap. So if you pay Bryce Young, if you pay Bryce Young, it's a salary cap league. You know, salary cap goes up a tad bit every single year, but then player salaries also go up every single year. When you pay Bryce Young, that money is coming from somewhere. He already has the offensive line. He's got the receivers. You're gonna have to pay Tedero McMillan. You want another receiver like you guys are screaming for. You're gonna have to pay him. You're gonna draft a receiver in the first round. Well, you're gonna have to clear cap space to pay him, right? I mean, granted, the rookie salary cap is more reasonable, but still gonna be $6, $7 million. You know, something like, you know what I mean? It's still gonna
And
cost you.
yeah, and I've been running a AI program, a AI model, and trying to
Hmm.
tell these guys, and it's telling the productivity which he's putting out, and I ran it
Hmm.
out to 2030,
Hmm.
and he's still not a top 15 quarterback.
Not a
So
top 15 quarterback.
that's your return again. You're not getting
Correct.
anything on your return. So if you pay him again, that means y'all we getting worse.
We're getting worse.
We getting
Yeah.
worse.
Go. I
We're gonna
want you
get
to,
worse.
when you hear people defend him, I want you to, the language is very important because it's always in the context of getting more, more. We're not, because it's going to come. The receivers aren't getting open. It's going to happen again this year. 4th year, they're going to scream it, right? I would challenge people to say,
Yeah.
who has this quarterback made better? Who has this quarterback made better? Because the language the way they speak, they're looking for someone to save him, right? They need somebody to come in and elevate him. But I want to see situations. My man Big Cat said, I forgot that undrafted receiver the Saints had for years, man. He was undrafted, ended up having an amazing career, right? Like, guys that are good elevate guys. You have guys, you have quarterbacks and receivers, and you bring them to them and you say, Dad, he ain't never got that many yards before, right? He got elevated, right? He
Yeah,
was over here,
yeah.
now he's
He
there,
got with
right?
his guy, and he looks amazing. A
Correct,
la
correct.
Michael Jackson.
Yes,
He was with Seattle. He was just a
yes,
rotational guy. And that
yes,
he comes to the Panthers, comes to our
yes.
zone system, and
Yep,
he's one of the best in the league now.
correct. So I don't want to hear about a receiver carrying Bryce. What receiver has Bryce elevated? That's what the
Yeah,
good and great quarterbacks do. Good
yeah.
quarterbacks minimize, capitalize on opportunities while minimizing mistakes. No matter how good or bad your receivers are, if this is a 30 catch receiver and he's going to be our number one, well, he's about to have 50-55 this year. Messing with me is going to be one of the best things of your career. You can't say that about Bryce. You can't say that any free agent receiver in the NFL wants to come and specifically play with Bryce.
No, no, not at
You
all,
cannot.
not at
You
all.
cannot. And
No,
as a
not at all.
fan, if the
That's a bold faced lie. That's a damn
correct,
lie.
correct.
And my man Brandon Carter, once again with a $2 super chat, he said, meanwhile, Bryce creates his own pressure as well. Exactly.
That was a
Vacating
big part
clean
of
pockets. The man just told you he was not under pressure for big percentile of the year, and he still created sacks. I seen that with my own eyes at the game, running into pressure. Yeah, yeah.
so
It
we talked
just
we talked we talked a little bit about that on the phone. We talked, and I was talking about year one. How in year one, not only did they have a problem getting in the play in year one, a lot of times the play clock would get down to 1 or 2 seconds, which gave the defense the advantage. But a lot of
yeah.
times Bryce Young would get he's already in shotgun, and then he would get really, really deep in his drop back, creating angles for those defensive ends to run upfield and not have to bend and make it easier on them
Wide,
instead of stopping
called
back
a
in.
wide nine. He comes back wide
Yes,
nine.
yes, sir.
It's a straight shot to him. No
Yes,
bend, no
sir.
curve, this and that to try to get there. And it puts the left tackle out there on the island, and it
Yep,
gives the advantage to the edge rusher because he has a better angle. It's always
that's
about
right.
angles, this, that, which comes into math, which comes into numbers once again. Men lie,
Correct,
women
correct,
lie, numbers. So
correct.
uh well,
So,
let me tell you, man, I want to open it up if you got a little time, because there's a couple. I'm not even gonna say the word haters, but
yeah,
there's a couple people that's got some pushback, in the
I
audience
got
that,
about 15 more minutes I can rock with you, man. So, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what,
we can open it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they got the guts to hit the link, you know what I'm saying, I would like them to come up and
Mhm.
either tell you why, that they saying that, that you're not saying what like I said, it's Googleable.
Correct, correct, correct.
So
You know,
I don't
everything
I
is
just don't know.
everything is easily debunked, man. They really don't have any solid ground to stand on. I mean, even when you talk about play calling, first of all, I would probably say that nobody watching this and nobody sitting on their couch is probably an expert on play calling or anything like that, right?
No,
And
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, link is in the chat. Come if
yeah,
you will.
and they were screaming that play calling stuff year one ago, and I'm like, man, this is probably one of the most qualified uh, coaching staffs of all times I've ever seen. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
You got
year
about
one, no doubt. Year one,
yeah,
no, there was nothing.
hmm
Anybody on that stuff? Jim Caldwell. Oh, Frank Wright
yeah,
over 30 some years. Jim
yep,
Caldwell over 30 some years. Just them two right there on the defense
correct,
side. Young Gun Evero, Dom
correct,
Capers. You know what I'm saying?
correct,
Other than
correct.
Vic Fangio being here, you couldn't find another
Uh,
person in a 3-4 defense that knew more than these guys right here. Have seen it
you
all,
couldn't,
heard it all, did it all. I mean, stop playing with me, bro. Stop.
you couldn't. And what was interesting, man, I remember Dave Canales' first couple of games here. Dave Canales came out and really tried to play Bryce like a normal quarterback, right? What was the thing that happened? First play of the season, he threw an interception deep. He realized, oh crap, I can't do that with him. Then people started complaining about the play calling year one under Dave Canales, if you remember. Oh, he's just throwing short. He's just throwing short. Open up for Bryce. Let Bryce cook. Remember that? If you let Bryce cook, the interceptions go up. Right?
Hey,
What?
Elaine, man, good show. So,
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew, what's up, brother?
hey,
Yes, sir.
Elaine, you're being too nice.
I
This
wanted to
guy,
I wanted to bring the intellectual to
his
yeah, go ahead.
numbers are so bad that
Yeah,
technically if he didn't have garbage time, he'd have Jimmy Clausen numbers. Okay,
absolutely.
he had an
Absolutely.
80. His passer rating in the first half in his career is 80. His second half passer rating is 97. Now, how the
Yep.
hell is there a 17-point swing from one half to the second half unless you're in nothing but garbage time?
So he
Okay.
goes from worst of all times to just bad. Basically, garbage time allows him to.
He goes from an 80 passer rating, which isn't his quarterback rating, that's his passer rating.
Mhm.
That's a big difference. That goes from
That's
80
what. Yeah,
to
there's.
97. That's because he's always chasing. He's always behind,
Yep.
and then he's getting a lot of garbage yards. You take away those second half numbers, and you base his go look at his first half. The most important thing is getting out ahead. Okay, because
Yep.
you're not always trying to. That's why his come from behind numbers are quote unquote impressive because
Well
he's all
said.
behind.
And we refuted that little come from behind crap too, because
Hmm.
some of that was given. Some of
Yeah,
that was
Yep.
given too.
uh,
We've already done been over that. Some of that is
yeah,
given too.
and
So
then the
I mean,
stuff.
he's had a lot of statual help around this motherfucker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but I guess everything that Elaine said, I know is true because I've checked it myself. But the thing
Hmm.
that gets me is, and I've been saying this for years now, go look at his second half numbers compared to his first half numbers. And the only thing
Yep.
without
What up,
those
Leo?
half garbage numbers, he'd be having nothing. His numbers would be down in backup quarterback territory.
Yes, correct.
So
Correct.
you know, but what happens is you got the people out there who are going to love him regardless of how he does, and they're going to
Hmm.
refer to a specific game where he came out and had a good game, and they're going to use that as leverage to try to justify 3 years of really dismal quarterback play.
So I said there's usually one or two games a year that they feel like vindicate the whole thing, and for don't doesn't matter if it's against the worst defenses in the league. Those are the games that are going to vindicate how they feel about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing that gets me. People are saying that I myself and other people I've heard are being accused of thinking that Haynes King is going to be the answer to the
Hmm.
Panthers' problems. No, we're not. I'm not saying that. But what I'm going to say
Okay.
is this: did that offense look a little bit different to anybody than
Yeah.
what
Andrew,
we
I'm sitting there and
Hmm.
I'm watching balls go over second and third level people's heads. So that means you're stretching the field laterally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
exactly?
not seeing it once. I'm seeing it 3 and 4 times in a drive. You know what I'm saying?
And,
So I
and do you
haven't seen.
think that?
I set up in my seat and I'm like, oh, this is looking different. Oh, this
Yeah,
is something else. You see what I'm saying?
you think it was no accident that we ended up with 33 points in a preseason game where
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
remember 2 years ago we didn't score anything against the Jets.
Correct. Correct.
yeah, yeah,
They don't want to see
yeah.
the they don't
And
want to
that's when
see
the
the
Jets was
forest through the
good.
trees.
That's when the Jets had Aaron Rodgers and they were predicted to go to the Super Bowl before he tore his Achilles or whatever. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
Preseason don't matter though around here. That's what they were saying that year.
This is some
You know.
Shawshank Redemption shit where he says
Yep.
hope is a wonderful thing. Yeah, well it is, but it doesn't win football games.
That's right.
So
Well said.
I mean, there's good
Yeah.
numbers. I mean, it tells a story. Elaine is trying to tell a story for people to look at, but if you're gonna have blind, it's like horse racing. You know why they wear the blinders? So they don't have to see what's around them.
No, just straight line.
Yeah,
Straight line.
look straight ahead. Yeah.
I'll be damned if I look for the side. I'll be damned if I look up. Straight line.
Don't tell me about the stats. Don't tell me about his physical abilities. Don't tell me about how tall he is. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm looking at the Green Bay game. I'm looking at the Rams game. That's what I'm looking at.
Correct.
I don't want to hit. Leo, what's going on there, brother?
What's up,
Good
Leo?
morning, gentlemen. What's going on, Elaine? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Goat?
Yo, what's up?
Man, not much, man. Good information, man. They needed to hear it, whether they agree or disagree. Before you go, Elaine, would you expound on the other aspect of his support, in your opinion, and why he has such a robust fan base? Ooh, win or loss.
Yeah, I broke this down on one of my shows a couple of days ago, and there's a couple of angles here, Leo, that I think is going on. I'll start with the first. When I used to be a younger fan, I was naive, right? And without the context, I used to just really be excited about our players and think they're going to do amazing things. And that's when I was younger, right? But I also think what's really going on, Leo, is that there are people that are living sort of vicariously through Bryce Young. This is sort of an underdog story where people can maybe see themselves in him, or he's a good guy and they want him to win. And perhaps, and I don't want to shit on anybody, but perhaps they can see their story arc through Bryce Young's story arc, right? Like I'm always rooting for the guy who's down bad, the underdog. This is sort of me. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps I think another aspect is this: people who are afraid to start over, right? People who are afraid to let go, start over, and say, hey, we're gonna start from scratch and just find another guy. You keep trying till you get your guy, right? But one thing you cannot do in life is accept mediocrity, right? And I
No.
often wonder, Leo, if people are accepting mediocrity for the team they claim they love, are you accepting mediocrity in your own life, right? Are you living a subpar life and accepting
Yes.
mediocrity, making excuses for yourself, and your love for the Panthers' mediocrity or acceptance of it is just a reflection of how you view life in general? Those are just the questions. I don't know. You know what I mean? But those are my thoughts on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you. I appreciate it, but and I wholeheartedly agree with that. Um, and it's pretty sad and pathetic.
Hmm.
And I'm not judging anybody. I hope everyone gets out of that space. But
Yes, sir.
as far as supporting the team, it's it's not supporting the team when you support a aspect of the team that's hurting the team. But and
I
they
was,
can't get away from that. They can't get away from that, man.
Well,
yeah,
well,
I was,
Leo, I was just in a space yesterday where they say, well, if we go out and draft another quarterback and he's not it, now that's going to have us this and that. Why wouldn't you just stick with Bryce? Well, Bryce has given us 3 losing seasons, going on 4. So clearly he's not it. So if another
can
guy
I,
comes along and gives us a losing season, what are we? What are we? Where we at?
yeah,
We still
That's what
where
I
we
said.
so at?
go, can I address,
What have we
What you
lost?
got?
yeah,
What
go,
you know?
can I address Highway Boy here? He said Heisman winner, but he's an underdog, right?
Man,
We
this
all,
I'm gonna tell you about this highway boy dude right here, man. He's
yeah.
he's been sitting in the chat just talking that crap. And like once again, I said if you got the guts to hit the link, you know what I'm saying, to
Hmm.
talk this and that,
Yeah.
you can sit there and say we don't know ball, we don't know what the fuck we talking about. These are numbers. That man just told you nothing but numbers, nothing but a fact. I don't think
Hmm.
anybody on this panel here can tell you that he said anything. It's once again I'm gonna use the word that I just created. Googleable.
Yes, sir.
Googleable.
And
Yes,
You
he's
sir.
can
one
go
of
out
those.
there. It's in a
He's one of
book.
those guys Elaine's talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's one of those guys
Listen,
Elaine's
when
talking about.
when
Oh,
when when you
he,
finish a season or finish a game, this shit is recorded. It's recorded.
No, what it is, go. These young people nowadays don't know the difference between an opinion and fact. They conflate the
Correct.
two based on their emotions, how they feel. It's very
Correct.
weak and feminine. Um,
Correct.
they don't, because if you, you
Well, they
lying,
don't know
oh,
how to
you're like,
find a fact, Leo. They don't know what fact finding. It
oh,
involves research.
that,
They don't.
Mhm.
They don't. You know, Elaine said something earlier about what he does, and I use this all the time with something I learned in the military. Trust but verify. See,
Yep.
trust but verify is required
There
when
you go,
you're
Red.
held.
There you go,
Yeah,
Red.
yeah. When you're held accountable for what you do or what you don't do, you can trust that your commanding officer is guiding you right, but you have no obligation to blindly follow them. The responsibility is on you. You have to verify. If they jump out that plane and it's a night dive and you're an airborne soldier, and they say, well, we're at 8,000 feet or whatever the height is that you're going to jump from, right? And you say, well, that's too high. You know, I shouldn't jump that high. But you trust him. So you go ahead and jump and you die in the process. The military is not responsible. You have your own gear, you have your own responsibility to verify what you're being told. And you can trust what Elaine says, you can trust what the people that you follow tell you. But be smart and go verify it for yourself. You can argue with Elaine and the facts that he's put out, but you'll do it from the chat because, like Goat said, you're a coward. You won't pull up to the chat like this guy I've been
A
texting
yellow
with.
belly. A
Yeah,
yellow
man.
You're
belly.
right, Red.
Man,
But, hey,
yeah,
Red,
A
let me ask you
yellow
something.
belly.
yeah.
Let me
And
ask you
Morning,
something, Red.
fellas.
Did
hey,
What's going on, brother?
What up, bro?
did Johnny
welcome,
did
Andrew.
Johnny
morning.
Manziel win the Heisman Trophy?
Who's that again?
Did Johnny Manziel win the Heisman Trophy?
He
He did.
absolutely did.
How about
Gino,
Tim Tebow? How about Tim Tebow? Did he win the Heisman Trophy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the name
How about
Eli
how about
White? Eli.
how about Matt Leinart? Did he win the?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean,
The
you could go
Heisman is
down the list.
notorious for bad quarterbacks. My fault, bro. You go something.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
I just
Yeah, I
asked.
mean,
Hey,
only
hey,
about
hey, hey, hey. Y'all
50%.
hold on, y'all hold on one second. Hey, Red, since my co-host Red is it, Red, can you read the money, please?
You know I can. You know I can, dope. So this
The
is from
disco.
Brandon Coffin with a $5 super chat. Black Cat Panther podcast. GOAT hosted today. They appreciate that, brother. Brandon says, never cling to a mistake just because it took a long time to make it. You know, GOAT uses the
My
term,
God.
Brandon.
My
He
God, my God.
GOAT talks about
My
pivoting.
God.
GOAT talks about pivoting. When you realize that it's not profiting you any longer, you have to pivot and move on from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
I just want
cling to a
Elaine.
mistake
That's
What's
because
what
up,
it
brother?
took
Elaine
you a
said.
long
What's good?
time
What's
to
good?
make it.
I
My
just
Brother.
God.
I just wanted to let you know you did a fucking masterful job. But
Thank you, sir.
that was fucking beautiful, Elaine.
Thank you, sir. I
That
appreciate
the way
that,
you
brother.
broke that shit down. I said that's what I'm talking about.
I appreciate that.
Because it's been, I like I was saying the other day, I ain't had time to crunch the numbers and see where are they getting these stats from. Because my eyes did not tell me he didn't throw. I didn't see a lot of
Deep
deep
balls
balls.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, my
Yep.
eyes never told me that. So where they getting these numbers from? Where they getting this shit from? And I
Yeah.
just
Right.
never had a chance to crunch the numbers. But boy, you did a great job, masterful job,
I appreciate
fucking
that, man.
masterful.
Man,
Yeah, and we.
go, man. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go on, man.
No,
You
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say, like, yeah, Elaine made some really good points. Like, people who accept like mediocrity, it's like a reflection of them as a human being in their real life.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the case with Bryce. It's either that or it's actually sexual. Like, they actually have some kind of fucking fetish with this kid. That little smile and twinkle in his eye just go an extra long way with them.
Yeah, broski.
Yeah.
The rookie excuse, and he's still learning. That's over. Okay, that's after 3 years of it. That's enough.
Yeah. Because,
Okay.
Ain't no
and
more
Andrew,
rookie.
you know what
Ain't no
gets
more
lost
rookie.
in the shuffle is the fact that it's not that he was a first round pick. He was the number one pick overall, right?
Correct.
And all you hear is
Traded up to get.
Bryce needs polished receivers. Bryce needs Robert Gronkowski at tight end. Bryce needs Marshall Faulk at running back. It's like, no, he's supposed to be the number one overall pick. He's supposed to, at some point in time, make other players better. He's supposed to elevate other players, right?
That's correct.
That comes with being the number one overall pick.
He's supposed to make a Jerry Rice. He's supposed to make a goddamn Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm. Right. Go, man. Go. With that said, man, I'm gonna get to work, man, bro. I really appreciate you having me on, man. This was dope, man. We got to do it again, man. I appreciate the support of the chat too.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate
Elaine.
Like I said, man, when I started looking at this brother, started watching this brother, it was stuff like it was just like my whole head just cleared up, like you had a stopped up head, and I was just like D'Angelo come on and said, "Damn," and I was like, "Damn." Did you just say that number? I didn't realize that was this. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know the number say he was that damn bad.
Right. But what my eyes was telling me that, but I ain't never been able to see the numbers. But goddamn it, Elaine put that shit on a silver platter, boy. And I ain't never. You don't see not one of his fucking fans up here trying to dispute you either, do you? You don't. Nobody gonna come up here and dispute that shit, but you can't.
No.
Yep.
No. They running for the hill.
Run for the hill.
Like what Andrew was saying, only 50% of Heisman winners actually succeed in the NFL. It's like 50-50.
Right.
Nah, it's a stupid argument, man. It's not even worth anything.
Broski, it ain't even 50-50, man. Most times the Heisman quarterbacks don't do good when they make it to the NFL. I don't even think it's 50-50 when you go back and look at it.
For every successful one, there's one or two unsuccessful ones.
Y'all know what's funny? Y'all know what's so funny to me? And I laugh at this all the time, man. You know, I think y'all are dealing with a generational divide.
In
your fan base when you talk about expectations.
Yeah.
I think that y'all have young Panthers fans who, and maybe they don't know any better than to show their excitement, but it also shows their lack of knowledge of history. If you were to talk about former Carolina Panther quarterbacks and Heisman Trophy winners, and what are you seeing on the field? I would give you Cam Newton, of course. You got to look at Cam Newton. But then juxtapose Cam to Chris Winkie and ask yourself, who does Bryce Young resemble more? Have an honest conversation with yourself. When y'all are talking about lifting the talent around him, ask yourself that question. But it's like Andrew says, they don't want to see what's going on around them, Leo. They don't want to see that. They don't want to look at it.
But
the reality.
That comes from taken from a long time Brown fan. That's a losing culture attitude. Okay, the Panthers haven't had back-to-back winning seasons, and I don't know how many years.
Yeah. But my man, I like to give a round of applause again, man. Y'all give a round of applause in the chat to my man Elaine, Panthers Theory, man.
Yes,
y'all go over there, man. Then he does a show on Friday, man, with my man BJ. Y'all see him on the panel all the time. Quantum, y'all see him on the panel all the time. 3 Feet and Rising over there, man. Good stuff going on over there, man. Y'all go over there, man. Give those guys some support. Like I say, man. And in the Panthers Theory, you might not like what a lot of people say, but you have to respect everybody's opinion of what they say. Brown boy, I still respect your opinion on what you say. You know what I'm saying? It'll all come out in the wash, my boy. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, here we are, Black Cat Panther Podcast, man. Get my likes up. I'm gonna have to tell y'all again. I'm gonna kick off in somebody's ass if my likes don't get up. But come on now, help me out. Just hit the like button. But we getting ready. Hey, we got time today. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it.
Hey, go. Did the notifications not come out that you was live? Is the people who normally watch it, who in here, who always got a lot to say, to jump on the panel? Did something happen to you too? Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I enjoy running these cats. I enjoy running them off the panel. I enjoy doing that. But it wasn't no need today.
Ain't no day. Hey, they ain't come today, Logic. Ain't no way in the hell. Yeah, you ain't gonna driver ain't gonna come up here with that. Yeah. No, you ain't gonna hear that shit today.
Only goes so far.
They're listening, though. They're listening.
No, they listening. They listening, Red, punching at the air. They punching at the air right now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to hear Ronnie or Driver.
No, anybody want to hear that? But it just lets you know that they are clear, they are aware of the actual facts, how the game are actually going, how Bryce actually looks. They're willing to run with this foolishness as long as they possibly can. But when somebody correct them and somebody tell them the truth and give them stats and things that they can look up, you can't argue.
Think about this. Think about this. If they're just tuning in, tell them that GOAT is having to reload. I keep using military references. All right, so you can stick your head up. Elaine is gone. You don't have to worry about it.
But Red, before they come though, because they love to throw out, Bryce, Ted Romero got Rookie of the Year. They say that a lot of times, right? So they attributed Ted Romero getting Rookie of the Year to Bryce Young. Is that correct?
Yeah, but you know what a good rebuttal to that is?
Oh no, I got it, bro. Here it go. So y'all remember, Garrett Wilson is right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Garrett Wilson played for the Jets. He got Rookie of the Year too. But you know who his quarterback was? Zach
Wilson.
Yeah,
Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco. So,
Leo,
equating the Rookie of the Year to a good quarterback.
Quarterback don't mean shit.
That don't mean a goddamn thing, man.
To the second leading receiver on the Panthers have last year.
What, 300 yards?
Yeah, like Coker had like 400 yards.
700 yards away, 650 yards least away from the next.
Exactly.
Hey, Red, can you read the money for me, Red? Can you read the money?
Sir. Yes, sir. It'll be my pleasure, GOAT. Trucking Gaming with the $2 super blast. He said, great show. One request, say Googleable 5 times fast.
Googleable. Hey, yo, kill me with that. Googleable. Googleable. This they made a whole new word up today. Googleable.
Yeah. Googleable. All day long.
That was a great point you brought up, Leo, about Garrett
Right, it was. That was a good point.
So that destroyed that little.
They're always grabbing at straws, man.
Whoever heard of Nico Collins before CJ Stroud got over there? His name, you know, around. Okay, it's the quarterback that makes these guys. Sure, they got talent, great talent. Unless you got a good quarterback behind them, you're not going to see. Why do you think that any receiver that goes over to the Bengals ends up like you?
Another thing that cracks me up
about Joe Direwolf Burrow.
Well, Sam Darnold goes to the Seahawks, and all of a sudden, Njigba goes from like 1,000-yard receiver to 1,800-yard receiver and offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Think about
that. Look at Randy Moss when he played with the Raiders. He ain't do nothing. They traded him.
Right.
He wanted to get out of there.
He looked like his career was over with. He thought his career was over with.
We're not talking about someone who just barely broke 1,000 yards. We're talking about someone who literally had 1,800 yards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, and Sam Darnold did that. The Carolina Panther former castaway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what?
Sam's got a big live arm, and once again, credit to Sam Darnold. You had when Sam Darnold was here, you had Ben McAdoo as the fucking OC. Come on, bro.
Broski, they gonna miss your inference though, Broski. They're not sharp enough.
I don't play on their rules. So you guys play according to their terms. I dictate the terms. I don't care about their terms.
Broski, okay. They're not sharp enough to understand what you were just putting out.
Yeah.
They're gonna say that you just validated their opinion that the quarterback makes the receiver, and that is nowhere near what you said. What you said is depending upon the quarterback, you can have that. Jackson Smith and Jigba was already who he was, but he catapulted to another level based on the quarterback.
Quarterback play. Right.
Absolutely.
Ted McMillan
exactly.
coming
And
into
that's
the NFL
exactly.
warranted the number 8 draft pick all by himself.
Yeah.
All by himself.
Exactly, and that's why he can't bring up the Tedore McMillan thing, because McMillan was already solidified coming out of college. That's why he was the number 1 wide receiver coming out. So for him to get the Rookie of the Year, he should actually. When you hear people say he actually should have way more yards than he did, that's not a slight on him. That's a fact.
That's what I was about to say, Logic, because I've been saying Ted really should have had about 300 more yards than what he really had, at least.
But that's depending on the quarterback, and that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem.
And Rod, by the way, I hear what you're saying, Rod.
They can't understand it, broski. They'll never get what you were saying.
My thing is, and this is just a general rule of thumb when you debate and you have something, you take the floor. Like don't let them dictate the terms of the argument, man. You gotta dictate the terms. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, don't be like, oh, we gotta cater to them. We gotta cater to them. We gotta cater to them. No. Set the fucking groundwork.
Since I got D'Angelo in here, D'Angelo, what do you think about the signing of the new tight end?
I think it's a good signing, but I mean, goddamn it, I mean, are we gonna use? We ain't gonna use him as long as Bryce playing quarterback. I mean, shit, he ain't gonna do shit. I mean, it was a great sign.
That roster.
If we had a quarterback to utilize him.
That goes right there to what we're talking about right now. What the fuck are they doing? Signing yet another tight end when we don't even use them.
Because
statistically, the numbers and everything else will tell you. Yeah, we're putting more resources toward the offense. More resources for the offense, Andrew. More resources for the offense.
Yeah, but they're going to get rid of a couple tight ends. They're gonna blow them out of there, man. And the guys. Like, what has Tommy Tremble done? How have they gone with him? What has he done?
He's about to be out of here. I tell you that. Somebody's going to be out of here. It's probably going to be him.
Yeah, I think Tommy's gone.
David Sanders is a good receiver, but he's undersized for a tight end. Okay, he can catch the ball, he can run a route, but he can't block. He's a terrible blocker, and that's something you need if you're going to have a run game. Is a tight end who can block. Okay, so he's gone. That's why they signed this guy, because now that gives them a little more leverage. If you got 3 solid tight ends, Tremble might survive. It could be.
So you saying it could be JT the odd man out?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that their tight end room, they need to clear it out of there, but they want to make sure they can keep the big size tight ends, especially someone like. What the hell's his name?
Mitchell Evans.
Yeah.
But you got no productivity though, Andrew, out of that room whatsoever since this guy here came.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They got to do it. They got to do something different, Goat, and they got a good veteran, someone who's been a Pro Bowler, and he's probably in his last year maybe, but. What are they losing, really? They're not losing anything. They're creating space for their roster. I think it was a good move.
This is Tommy Tremble's last year under contract, by the way. This is last year under contract.
Yeah. Darren Waller, Tremble, and Mitchell Evans. Those are 3 pretty decent tight ends. Now, Tremble, I would put Mitchell Evans up there ahead of Tremble because Tremble's had the last 3 years he hasn't done anything. And we don't know what Mitchell Evans can do because he hasn't been targeted.
Yeah, we don't know what none of our tight ends can do. Really,
nothing.
Yeah, no shit.
We don't know what nothing can do.
Nothing. As far as that goes, I can understand that move. I can. I can also understand it. I'll tell you what's going to drive Bryce out of here is the contract that he wants. He's not going to get it. Okay, especially with what they saw the other night. What did they say? What did they say? They got $8 million in cap space? And then you think they're going to sign this guy for 50 some odd million? It ain't going to happen.
You're in the negative for next year.
It ain't going to happen, folks.
So, guys, if the Panthers wanted to cut Tommy Trumbull right now, it's 4.1 million dead cap hit, but they could spread it over this season and next season. So basically, like $2 million dead cap hit. Ja'Tavion Sanders is under contract through 2027 on his rookie deal. If they were to cut him, $437,000 dead cap hit, and
there you go. That's the odd man out right there.
Yeah.
And that may be why though they focused on him to start that game, that Hall of Fame game.
Exactly.
Maybe he was some trade bait.
And I thought it at the time. I thought about that at the time. They're giving him a lot of playing time because they're trying to make a decision on him. Okay.
Exactly.
Hey, when they signed Darren Waller, that sealed his fate. He's done.
I think so. I agree. I mean, that's what it smells like to me.
For Bryce Young, another reason why there is no excuses for you not to be more productive and play better. It's another excuse. Another reason for you not to have an excuse offensively.
I just want to put something in perspective real quick. So when I was talking about, hey, Tet barely had 1,000 yards and the second leading receiver, I just looked it up. Coker had like 394 yards. He even had 400 yards last year, right? On the Bears, there were 4 receivers who had more than Coker had, and Cole Kmet only had 50 receiving yards less than Coker. So you basically had like almost five. Well, you had 4 players with more than what the Panthers' second leading receiver had.
The sad part is, and I feel bad for Ja'Tavion Sanders because we'll never really know how good he is. This is where receivers die on the vine, right here in Carolina.
Good God Almighty! Come on,
Deontay Johnson came in and destroyed his career.
God Almighty!
They like to call him a reaper. Have they looked at how many receivers have been reaped under Bryce Young?
Die on the vine.
They do, and he's going to be another casualty. They go out and they draft these guys thinking like, oh, these guys are going to make Bryce better. No. They're not going to make him better. He's as good as he's going to get.
Eric just said it. Bryce is going to make them worse.
And this is one thing. Like, I'm not trying to like totally change the subject from Bryce, but off of receivers. Like, one thing I never understood. I've said this multiple times. Why the Panthers have not gotten like a really good pass catching running back out of the backfield? Like, to me, you have a quarterback with not such a strong arm. Why don't you get a running back you can throw to?
Had one last year.
Rico Dowdle was one. He
was okay. Yeah, he was okay. And guess what? He was tearing it up when they were throwing to him. He was having monster games.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying more consistently even than Rico. What
I'm saying, broski, you had just paid Chuba Hubbard, but you paid him too early. Then Rico came available. And you couldn't put that much money in your backfield.
Well, you guys remember this. The Patriots offered to trade for Chuba last year, and the Panthers turned him down. So they made their decision. They could have paid Rico and kept him, but they chose Chuba over him. I mean,
they didn't want that PR nightmare of doing that to a player when he was injured.
Patriots were like 5th round pick. Here you go. I mean, if I were the Panthers, I would have done it. Here, give me a 5th round pick, and then I'm going to lock Rico in. It wouldn't even cost that much. You could have given him like 3 years, $20 million, and you could have had him for 3 years, or 2 years, 16, 15 million. Boom, done deal. 14 million, done deal. Yeah, that was crazy.
At the end of the day, they should have never paid Chuba. I understand Chuba is a locker room guy, but that man should have never been paid number one running back money. He should have never. I scratched my head when they did it. When they did it last year, I'm like, well, why would you do that? That don't make no sense.
Chuba, a solid running back, man. He's like that. Like I said in the comments, like he's like that downhill between the tackles runner that you have in a running back duo, running back. But
Chuba gives you no explosive runs at all. He was dead last in explosive runs for running back last.
Exactly.
D'Angelo, you can make an argument that Chuba Hubbard's been the probably most consistent player we've had for the
Oh no,
last
I'm not
3
denying that. I'm not denying that. Now I'm just saying he should have never been the number one running back. He ain't the
Yeah.
number one running back. All right, that's what we should have never gave him all that
He's a
money.
good
Is what I'm
player.
saying.
Don't get
I'm
me
not
wrong.
taking.
I'm not ripping
I like
Chuba.
Chuba.
Yeah, he's a good
I
player.
don't dislike Chuba. I just think we like Joe said, we paid too early. We should have
And
never
you
gave
know
him
what
that
would
money
help
that early.
Chuba if you got like that? I'm gonna go kind of old in the division, kind of running, but like a Pierre Thomas or something, just like a third down pass catcher. Like to me, why not give ETN that chance? I don't understand. Like to me, that's what ETN is.
ETN ain't that guy either. I'm just gonna tell you.
No, he's
He
not.
ain't that guy.
He's not.
You don't think?
No,
No,
hell
he's
no.
not.
He
I
ain't that
watched
guy
him at
neither.
Florida.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
We overdrafted ETN. It was 10 more better running
the
backs on
Panthers
the
cut him.
ETN.
I hope the Panthers cut him so my Bears can pick him up and have him as a
I'm
third
just
running
telling
back.
you, he ain't all that either. He not his brother.
You can pick him up if you want to, but I'm
Right.
gonna tell you what he is. He's part of a running back stable. That's who he was at Florida and at Georgia, and that's what he'll be in the NFL. He's never gonna be. And I'm gonna be done and let you argue the way that you want to, but he's never gonna be a feature back in the NFL.
Right, he ain't that.
You might be.
Like
No,
I said,
I'm not
he
saying
ain't
he'll
his
be
brother.
a feature back.
He's
I'm just
not his
saying
brother.
like he'll be a good change of pace running back, third down style running back, possibly.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten any run in the NFL for me to say either way. I mean, I think he could do that role possibly, and that's all I'm looking for. You know, we got Switzerland. I got locked in it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Hey, it's your boy Brandon Cawthon again. What a $2 super chat. Brandon say they can't accurately assess shit with Bryce here. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, that's another point. Like, how do you really know what you have in David Canales? How do you really know what you have in your wide receivers? How, you know what I mean? Like, how do you really know? You're coaching with a handicap.
No, we know what we had. We saw it the other night with what an offense would look like with the quarterback could get the ball downfield. That's
amazing. That's amazing.
That offense was lit, and I don't care what you say. I didn't see one check down all night.
Well, the offense had energy. It had like life. You know what I mean? Like you had a downfield threat. You know, like it could actually threaten the defense. You know,
exactly. Why do you think all those players acted the way they did when they won that game? They saw what was going on out there.
Yeah, they loved it. They loved it.
Yeah, they did. And we haven't had an offense that looked like that. All right. That thing was clicking. No matter whenever we got the ball, we were taking it down to score. Okay, it wasn't even a question.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of good moves on this team. He's got one more to make, and we can do things. He's got to make that quarterback decision and do it. That's all it's going to take before we lose these people to free agency and trades and all kinds of bullshit. He's done well in the draft. We had a couple misses, but overall, this team's gotten much better, except for one position.
And then Saturday, you'll see this little sad-ass sample size. You know what I'm saying? And you won't be able to get a good read on shit. They'll probably take them out after one good pass.
There'll be a lot of Kyle Trask. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I don't know why y'all just
I've never seen nobody been protected like that.
Yeah, this is weird, man. This is freaking strange, man.
I don't know why y'all just hating on Bryce though. I really don't.
I hate bad looking football. It got nothing to do with him personally. The team is different with him out there. It's just different.
I mean, any real fan base criticizes their quarterback. I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah, I think 3 years is a pretty good sample size, Red. I really do.
I agree, brother. Shit, I agree.
Hell, Jalen Hurts got the Eagles at the Super Bowl. Them goddamn fans be calling for his goddamn head every year. They still don't like Jalen.
They don't like him.
But you know what, D'Angelo? At least they can say that's Philly.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that team, Red, they think, man, we should be going right now. They know the window is closing. They know the window is closing. So they know if they had a little bit better back there, and I'm not taking from him, but they know where they could be at.
Yeah.
They could have put at least two more in that lobby, and I'm talking Lombardi, if they had a little bit more behind center.
Yeah.
They know it.
And accessible as that team has been the last couple of years, like you said, that fan base stay on top of their quarterback neck.
Yep.
And I think you hit it right on the head, Red. There is a divide in this Panther fan base, and I think it's a lot. I don't know if it's got to do with mainly the age or whenever they just started watching the Carolina Panthers. Because ain't no way anybody who came out of the Cam Newton era is going to accept this mess here. There's no
Right.
way. There's
Yeah,
no way.
those Philly fans are brutal. Logic, they're brutal.
Yeah, they are brutal. When they beat us that game. They won now.
They were mad. They were mad. They were pissed off.
Hey, Logic.
Yes, sir.
I'm 70 years old, right? My dad, I follow football because of my dad. He used to tell me about the Philly fans. He goes, in the offseason, when there's no football, they go out to the airport and boo bad landings.
I mean, I lived there for 23 years. I mean, that's why I moved to Charlotte Chrome. So it's it's a different animal up there, man.
It's one of my favorites, Red.
They say you look how crooked that motherfucker came in.
That's what they do in the offseason.
I mean, they have a magistrate and holding cells at Lincoln Financial Field.
They damn
They
sure
have
do.
an actual magistrate there.
Exactly.
Yep, they damn sure do.
Didn't they boo Donovan McNabb when he got drafted?
The stuff they did to Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid.
Hell, them bitches boo Santa Claus. Them bitches boo Santa Claus.
They do a lot worse than that, man. I've seen it myself, man. Yep.
I love it. Passionate fans who really understand the game, though.
Yes, because rightfully so. If I know my team is great or has that talent to do something great, I'm not going to accept mediocrity. I'm not. You're going to have to play and get it done. And I don't get these Carolina Panther fans who look at Bryce and say, well, wait till he'll do this. Or y'all gonna feel bad if he do this. It's a lot of ifs and maybes. I need facts, not feelings.
He's gonna hit next year, though. He's gonna hit next year. Like,
yeah.
Man,
hey, listen. Ask the average kid at Christmas time. Hey, Dad couldn't come through. Can you wait till next Christmas?
Yep. There it is.
See what they tell your ass.
Of course, Mom. I don't want the new G.I. Joe. No, they're going to cry and say,
you know what they going to tell you?
Son of a bitch didn't give me my present.
Go. You know what they going to tell their mama? We need a new daddy. That's what they're going to tell her.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Go out there and get me a new daddy.
This broke motherfucker came by toys.
Motherfucking money.
This broke motherfucker came by toys. Get us a new dad.
Yeah. With some money.
Mama. Come on, Tepper.
Yeah, Mama, you can do better than this shit. I tell you, fellas, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna stay on top of his head until I get better. And I know in my heart. Yeah, go ahead, Red.
Let me chime in and make one thing clear, so nobody think that I'm laughing at the Carolina Panthers. I'm laughing with you. Let me make one thing clear.
Oh yeah. 100%.
You don't have
100%.
to tell Red Swarm. You don't have to educate me on the reasons why I'm telling you right now that I already know I don't have a quarterback in Atlanta. I haven't had one since Matt Ryan. And I don't know if the ones this year are going to hit. Did you hear me again? Mm-hmm. Red Swarm is telling you, in case you haven't heard me before, I know that I don't have a quarterback in Atlanta. I haven't had one in Atlanta since Matt Ryan was here. And I don't know if the two that are on the roster now are going to hit. But I will tell you one thing that I'm hearing from certain Panthers and not others. If the ones that we are trotting out there this year don't hit, I don't need to see it again next year. Bring me a rock star. Bring me a dragon egg. Yeah, bring me that.
That's
You're
the
gonna
fact.
get either.
Lamar
Red, so
Jackson.
you know a 7-10 team and an 8-9 team, don't you, Red?
Damn right, Goat. I know what it smells like.
I mean, nobody knows more about shitty quarterbacks than the Bears. I mean, I'm pretty much a fucking expert on
You got
that.
one now. You got one now, bro.
Yeah, you got
Ah,
one.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, we got a good one now. Yeah, not a shitty one.
It took you a while to get to it. You might have had to kiss a
Broski,
lot of frogs.
I've
You
seen
might
them
have to
all
kiss
in
a lot of
Chicago.
frogs.
Broski. I go all the way back. I go all the way back to Bobby Douglas, man. That's how far I go back with the Bears.
I hear you, man. Like, yeah, I mean, believe me, 3 years. That's it. That's all I give a quarterback. I give him 3 years,
Hey, Broski.
and I will give every quarterback 3 years. Like,
Hey, Broski, you may have had to
That's
kiss
why
a lot of
anybody can give
frogs.
them.
You may have had to
That's
kiss
why
a lot of
anybody can
frogs,
give them,
Broski.
Rosie.
I hear you, man.
3 years, and that's it. 3
Yeah.
years. 3 years. That's enough.
Red, what you saying?
I said you may have had to kiss a lot of frogs, but at least you're being rewarded for kissing them frogs. Yeah.
I'd like to think so, man. I'd like to think so.
You can't have
The
no
fact
3
that
years.
they have a good,
He's
the
4
fact
years
that they have a good backup quarterback, a young kid too. You know what I mean? Like that says something. Like they got a good young backup. They got a good quarterback coach. Like,
Right.
yeah. Finally.
Pieces are in place.
I don't hear nobody in the Panther fan base really talk about our QB coach. How do y'all feel about that man? Is he at fault for Bryce?
Who is y'all's QB coach?
Exactly. See?
Shit. Well, I can tell you who mine is this year, and I'm really happy with him versus the ones I've had recently. Alex Van Pelt. I'll take him.
I like him when he's with the Browns.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew. Andrew, I listen to, I be on podcasts and I listen and listen. You know, old Red Swan can't argue every point with a point. You know, I'm not young enough to do that shit no more, Andrew. But I listen to people tell me how they got the best offensive line coach in the NFL. They got the best this, they got the best that. I say, okay. You know, I guess they never heard of Bill Callahan, but go ahead. Go ahead. Keep thinking that this is going to be the same old shitty coaching staff that you've seen in Atlanta. Yeah, just keep thinking that. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not going to do what I've done in years before. I'm not going to poke my chest out before the season. Well, I can't this year because nobody has done what they did the previous seasons and told me that the Falcons are going to win this division, and I foolishly believed them.
No.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see now, Andrew. I'm waiting to see.
As far as Callahan goes, ask Joe Thomas about Callahan. He'll tell you about him.
That's right.
Good coach.
That's right. I'm waiting to see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. But I'm kind of glad they're not picking my team because that's awfully embarrassing. When I've come on here and talked all that shit about what the Falcons gonna be, and did you see how they picked us to see this and to be that? Yeah, we fell flat on our damn faces.
Did anyone get an update on Emeka Egbuka? Because I heard he limped off the field.
It was minor.
Minor?
Yeah, they said Bucky Irvin was on NFL Network. They were doing training camp with him, and he said he rolled his ankle.
Oh, okay. He'll be ready. He'll be ready for the season.
Yeah. So they took him out because they didn't want him trying to run.
Well, they're not hurting for receivers over there. They got Tez Johnson, and they got McMillan, and they got
old man Godwin.
Yeah, they got Godwin, and they got they're. But he'd be a big loss though if they were to lose him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he's definitely tremendous veteran leadership in that wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Veteran? Did you say veteran leadership?
What is that?
What is that? Yeah.
What is that?
That's a good point. The Panthers don't even really have like a veteran wide receiver, do they? Like they don't really even have one.
They want David Moore off the team.
They got David Moore
off the team.
David Moore, that would be sad if he makes the team. Honestly, that'll just be sad.
Canales like that dude, man.
He likes him.
Got a relationship with him.
He likes him. He year after year, that guy seems to be able to make the catch, the big catch.
Jimmy Horn better be on there before David Moore. I tell you that.
Who's that?
Jimmy Horn.
Oh yeah, I think if they do cut somebody, it should be Moore. I'm just saying that knowing Canales,
let me ask y'all a question.
He's gonna find a way to keep him. Yeah, he's gonna.
If they cut Moore, what would be y'all's most tenured wide receiver?
I missed the question, Red.
Leggett and Coca.
Yeah.
Leggett and Coca.
Damn.
3 years.
Leggett,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like the Bears have a young wide receiver room, but at least they have Khalif Raymond. They brought over from the Lions that little slot receiver / like returner. So he's like at least a veteran guy who's been in Ben Johnson's system for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Bryce.
That's if they don't mess around and try to add Mechie to our team, then he'd be the veteran guy.
Mechie.
That's true.
But he another one I don't think will make it. But you never know what this.
He looked good the other night, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He was getting open and getting some separation.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got going
Yeah,
on?
I'm afraid Mechie might fuck around and take Jimmy Horn's spot.
Bro, they do that mess.
I'm gonna be hot.
I'm gonna be mad, bro. I'm gonna be
I'm
mad.
be pissed. Well, I'm be pissed, boy. I'm be pissed
Yes,
like
sir.
a motherfucker. Like,
Yes, sir.
If whose spot you talking about, D'Angelo?
Mechie take Jimmy Horn's spot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't see that. I think they're going to keep Jimmy.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like what I'm seeing. I'll be honest with you.
honestly, if Jimmy Horn can't prove to be a punt or kick returner, like I don't see how he makes the team.
Yeah, if he don't, because I think they're gonna give him the opportunity to be the punt returner. You know what I'm saying? If he starts with the punt returner against Buffalo, that'll make me feel good. Because I know they risk, you know what I'm saying? I need to see him return some kicks. Because see, the thing about it is, shit, Trevor Etienne might fuck around and lose his spot to AJ Dillon. And if
I'd rather have Dillon myself.
But if that happens, then Jimmy Horn should be good. Then you know Jimmy Horn gonna be the return.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gotta jump out and run to a meeting real quick, fellas. I'm gonna try to check back in with y'all. Y'all on for a while, man. Good to top it up with you brothers this morning. And like I said, I'm gonna check back after this meeting to see if y'all still on, man.
All right, Big Red.
Red.
Guys, I'm dropping as well, man. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right?
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna
We got quite a few games tonight, don't we? We got.
Yeah. I got a couple.
Who played tonight? Buffalo? Don't Buffalo somebody? No, we tripping. We play Buffalo. What the hell I'm talking about? Atlanta? Somebody? Who played tonight?
The one I want to watch is the Raiders and the Cardinals. Carson Beck against.
That's right. The Raiders and Cardinals. Yeah, I want to see Mendoza.
That's who played tonight. That's who played tonight. Who played tonight?
I don't know. They're going to be on. They're going to probably come on. They're coming on, I think, around midnight here because they show them all, but they only have one that's actually live. And I think
it's the Raiders and Cardinals is the one that's going to be on TV.
Oh, is that the one? Okay.
Yeah, the Raiders and the Cardinals.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the one that's prime time.
Green Bay plays tonight, and I think they play San Francisco. I'm not sure. Yeah, Green Bay and the Steelers. I'm sorry. Green Bay and the Steelers, the Titans and the 49ers, the
Yeah.
Cardinals and the Raiders, and the Chargers in Houston.
Thursday night at 13, you got oh man, you got quite a few games. Got
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Detroit
about
and
4-5 games.
Cincinnati. You got Green Bay and Pittsburgh. You got Indy and New England. You got Los Angeles and Houston. You got Arizona and Las Vegas, Tennessee and San Francisco. Yeah.
Good night
Then
for some
Friday, you got
football.
Denver and Atlanta, Tampa Bay versus the Jets, Miami and Washington. Saturday, Cleveland and the Bears, Minnesota and the Vikings, the Rams and Kansas City, Jacksonville and New Orleans, Philly versus Baltimore, Dallas versus the Seahawks, and the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, man. Good stuff.
What time that game come on Saturday?
1 o'clock.
Dang it, man! I'll be just getting into. I got to work the
I,
Charlotte SC game, so I guess I'll be watching it from the dang stadium.
that game, yeah, 'cause I don't think that game. Our game is the only game that ain't gonna be televised some kind of way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dang.
Well, I'm not going to get that game out here till like was it midnight? It starts the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't even know how you gonna watch how we gonna watch that game.
No, they're coming on at 9 p.m. here.
Who?
It's
Carolina.
it says local, D'Angelo. Well,
But you know,
yeah,
I
that's
ain't local.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, my bad. Better go
Forget
you better go somewhere and sell wings.
That's
They
it.
probably
Better go get some wings somewhere.
they
Nah, man,
probably got
I don't. But you know what? I don't
yeah,
like watching games play sale because they got other
in the
shit
bar
going,
in the
music
bars like that.
playing,
Yeah.
I can't. I want to hear the goddamn game. I don't want to hear some other bullshit going.
Yeah. I feel you on that. And then NFL Network stuff, place like that. You know what I'm saying? I
It
keep
was
I keep my app going all the damn time.
a lot of
Yep.
times though. A lot of times though, I can go to YouTube. Somebody will be streaming it. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't. I mean, you know, I don't know. So hopefully somebody's streaming it from a local, from the local channel. But I don't know. Hopefully I can watch.
Well, like I said once again, I predict that they're only gonna a couple series. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pull these guys out. They probably won't play. Then the Houston one or that last one. I don't see them playing a whole lot in the starters in the
Well,
preseason. I
I
just don't
seen what
see it.
Canada said that he don't he don't look for him to play that much.
No.
They ain't gonna play that long. So they probably play a series, maybe two. No more than two series.
Hmm.
And he better look like something. I'm
He
telling
better.
you, he better look like something. I don't want to hear nothing. Well, it's different. Nah, you with the starters. That boy's playing with backups and did that. You better do
Right.
something. How many
Right.
times we done seen the preseasons come by and we got a guy out there who's playing with freaking grocery store workers and he can't get a ball off. He getting sacked. It looks
Right.
like trash. Most people don't even want to visualize. These mothers were
Yep.
moving that football. We look like a real offense. You
Yep.
better do something, Bryce, God dog. I tell you that.
Yeah, Bryce Young on that BS, bro.
Man, that's crazy. None of them Bryce clowns, none of them fools came for real. They still ain't nobody still hit that goddamn nigga.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, love to argue all day long. Stay on there
All
for
day long.
hours. He come up here and nobody want to come up. Boy, I tell you, ain't that some mess?
Hey, that's not now. What not a driver, not a runner, not a fucking
It ain't. Where
uh,
three
uh,
at?
uh,
God dang.
three. Uh, God damn, I can't. What's your boy?
Stop.
Come up here,
Rashad, yep.
Rashad, but not a
Big
Big
G. Where
G.
Will Robinson at?
Yeah.
Where y'all at, baby?
Yeah, baby. But I know. Y'all sit back and watch it, man. Your view is just as good as you coming up here running your mouth. And that's all y'all do, run your damn mouth. These fake ass statistics, fake ass news. But we driver come here and say, you're lying, you're lying, you're
Yeah,
lying.
lying. That's all they got.
That's
Yeah,
what they say.
lie. You lying, man. Y'all
Lying,
boy lying, man. Y'all boy
That's
just
what
be
they asked me
lying.
that the other day. I said, you know what? I said, I got something for your ass. I had nothing but a fact. It's Googleable. I
Google.
promise you. Go back and look. All you got to do, go do the research. You ask them out. I ask them because I ask them all the time. I say, well, do you know what happened this and that? They never answer my question. They never answer my question. Never.
Right.
I can never get them to answer my question, so it don't even matter.
Hmm.
I promise you guys, it's a short leash this year right here. In it, it ain't gonna be long. We about to get into it. I can't wait. We getting ready to get into this season. And
Yes, sir.
fellas, up in here, man. Usually I go ahead and stretch it on out, but you know what I'm saying? I want to compartmentalize this show right here. I got a couple things to do today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everybody on the panel last words, man. Andrew, talk to me.
Well, just looking forward to another week. We'll see what happens. Been a good show today, very informative, and wish you guys a nice rest of the week.
I appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you for coming.
Yep. Yep.
D'Angelo the Legend. Talk to me.
Yeah. I ain't got much to say, man. Just good show, man. Elaine did it once again. Good job, Elaine, for breaking that shit down masterfully, man. I can't. Man, I couldn't. Oh man, that was just the way I just sat up and just said, wow, wow. I mean, I'm talking about fact after fact. He did a great job. Great job, Elaine.
No doubt. No doubt. Carolina Logic.
Yeah. Hey, man, I agree with you right there, D'Angelo. Shout out to Elaine, man. He really did his thing on there, bro. It was good to hear. It was good. It was refreshing to hear some in-depth football talk. You know, that ignorance. Every now and then, you just want to talk real football, man, and bring them facts, not the feelings that we all speak on. This is Carolina Logic, man. Hey, listen, Black Cat Panther Podcast gonna keep giving y'all what y'all want. This season is almost here. College football, do not forget, man. Station 88, we'll be kicking that off here soon, too. College football will be back before we know it. We're talking about that top 25 and them first week matchups, man. This is Carolina Logic, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm out.
Yeah. And no doubt, man, y'all go to the email, the Black Cat Panther email, Black Cat Panther Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to come to the meet and greet on Bucks versus Panthers, October 24th and 25th. Once again, free meet and greet on Saturday, and viewing on Sunday of the game. Come on, man. Let's all put names with faces. Let's take some pictures, man. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. I know what we will do. We got some people. We'll take some pictures, so we can set up this new intro and everything right there. At least going in maybe the half of this year or going into next year, and so we can, just get the community involved and get the community, man. There ain't nothing but love, love, love. So if you can make it, come on through. If you can't, you know what I'm saying? Still, we love your support. But other than that, what is tomorrow? Today, what, Thursday, Friday? We got to start talking about this game, this matchup. I I heard there's a couple of players that are hurt in the Buffalo secondary, so maybe that'll make an easier day for them. You know, but we'll give you that injury report all the way around as it gets closer, and Friday will be the day to do it. So other than that, y'all know what time it is, man. Black Cat Panther Podcast. We are out here.